Hey guys, today we're tipping our top hats in episode 7 and 8 of The Penguin. Let's get into it.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Till the End of the Line podcast. I am the nerd with the last, and with me as always,
Nerd with the knowledge.
That's right. And as you said, we're tipping our top hats this episode to the finale. Episode 7 and the finale of The Penguin. This was fucking
language
crazy,
Killer. It was a sneaky good series. I had no expectations for it.
Yeah. I had no idea this is what we were getting with the Penguin series. Like, out of all the stories you could tell, this blew me out of the water, dude.
Absolutely.
Like, it was phenomenally done in every aspect. We're going to dive way more into that. But first, in case you guys didn't notice, we got our Funkos. I shall call you Mini-Me.
I'm dead. These are not.
It's us.
He's so cheesy.
We wanted but for real, we wanted Funkos of ourselves for so long.
Yeah.
And we finally got those.
So we've had these for a while. I just keep forgetting to bring it from my house.
Yeah.
But today I came to this cool realization that my little cat guy that came with mine, who's a gift from my babe.
Yeah.
It looks like my newest kitten that I have, Momo.
Which you got that before you got your new cat. So you manifested that.
Exactly. So, babe, you can't get mad at me for having Momo because you're like, now we have a 6th cat. You manifested. You ordered me this little cat.
They did. They could have ordered any other color.
Her and Nadia built it on the Funko webpage at work.
Yeah, nice.
So shows how much work they get done.
That's cool. Yeah, for real. So we are going to dive into the Penguin episodes soon. But first, we got a lot of nerd news for you guys.
A lot. Yeah. Most of our nerd news is going to be Marvel related, even though we're covering a DC project. But it's too big to not cover, guys.
And it's just what is out right now. It's
more relevant right
now. Yeah. So first thing, if you guys have not seen it, Captain America Brave New World trailer dropped. And we get to see Red Hulk full form.
Yeah.
Having
the full like gamma radiation like heat wave that comes off of him. In the comics, the angrier he gets, the more he radiates heat.
Is it heat or is it radiation? And then it just catches things on fire. Oh, okay.
I don't think it's ever really been, because he can't like throw fireballs.
Right.
But his fists do light up in fire.
Okay. Which anything with high radiation will catch fire. Right. So that's probably how they explain it.
Maybe.
So this is like the first full trailer, like
full length trailer,
the theatrical trailer that we get.
Yeah.
But now we could see it just outside of theaters, and we get a lot of good stuff. We see Captain America's full like mock suit, like where he gets the helmet over his face. They have the coolest moment where he lands down. He does his superhero landing to like bad guys surrounding him. And then the helmet comes up, and he goes, "Wait for it," and then the shockwave of the wind just follows him and blows them all away.
It's fucking dope.
That was dope as shit.
He's taking out missiles in the air, with his proto-adamantium shield.
Mm-hmm. So what is it? Vibranium, his shield? Because this is a new shield. No. This is Cap's shield.
It's the shield that Cap brings from some other distant timeline or future. We don't know where it originated from.
Because the original one cracked and Thanos broke that shit.
Correct.
So this one, because they have it, he has it at the end of Endgame. Correct. And then that's the one he brings back to Sam. So where did they get that one?
Never been established. No one knows.
I would imagine Stark just made another one.
It doesn't happen. No, because Steve Rogers, Old Man Rogers, is the one that brings it to him.
Correct, but young Steve, when he went into the quantum realm, had it. No, he didn't. He had Mjolnir. No, he did. He had the suitcase. You are correct.
He does not have a shield.
I think he probably goes back when he puts one of the stones back. He just grabs his shield.
Or there's a Captain America running around in a timeline without a shield. Yeah, he's like, "Where the fuck's my shield? What the fuck, guys?"
Imagine. Stark, I lost it again. I swear it was right here. I don't know what's happening. No. Wherever he took it from, they made him
funny
a new one.
because Stark would like, all right, let's look at the cameras, and it's Steve grabbing it.
He's like, you grabbed it.
Yeah, you took it, dumbass. He's like, but that wasn't me.
I was not there. I was with Peggy.
I didn't even have those shoes.
Yeah. Look at that ass. That is not that is not America's ass. Like, no, but I would imagine wherever he got it from, he got it knowing well that there would be another one to take its place.
Probably.
He's not going to leave himself shieldless. Yeah. That's his whole thing.
So the reason why I call it the proto-adamantium shield is because in Fortnite, that's what that's called.
Yeah,
and it looks identical to it. Yeah. And it has like those little perforated holes in them.
Yeah.
And it's called the proto-adamantium shield. And as we know, everything through... Well, Disney, I think, acquired the company that creates...
Epic?
Yeah. Epic, yeah. So they acquired
it. No, Epic did a huge deal with Disney.
Oh, so it's just a collaboration?
It's a collaboration, yeah.
Okay, so they didn't
Disney does not own Epic, no. Which is
but that's why Epic's we're getting so much Disney shit. And
Disney, Star Wars. I mean, they're even getting anime. They got they had Avatar. They have My Hero Academia. They have a bunch of shit coming.
Well, all that's owned by Disney now,
right?
Because technically, Vegeta's a Disney princess now.
Oh, nice! I love it. And he is a moody princess. So yeah, but yeah, and then when Sam Wilson joined Fortnite, his is vibranium. It says vibranium shield.
Oh, does it say proto-adamantium?
The Captain America, Steve Rogers one says that, but the Sam Wilson one, it looks like the Endgame shield.
Do you think? Because these are all timelines, right?
Yeah.
Let's not go too much on a tangent, but do you think Old Man Rogers took it from Fortnite?
Bruh.
Stop it. Because Fortnite is in 616. We've seen Thor playing it, or Korg playing it.
Yeah.
Can they cross into?
I don't know, but I love the idea.
Hilarious. I like that. I'm going to go with that one.
But trailer's dope, nonetheless.
Yes.
We see this dope, like, action scene where Red Hulk throws a car at Sam Wilson, and
Sam Wilson says, like, you want me, come and get me, or something like that, or bring it, something like that.
And he screams like a Hulk fashion,
and then he throws, like you said, he throws a car at him, and then Sam does this like side flip, and then with the wings out, and he cuts the car in half.
Like saws it out.
Yeah.
And then lands. Superhero landing.
Sick as fuck. Dope this movie is going to be so fucking good.
I hope so.
It's going to be good. So it's starting a new Captain America franchise of, set of films, trilogy, hopefully.
Yeah.
And what I'm hoping that they do is they separate from Steve Rogers. Well, they're going to separate from how Steve Rogers films were. But I hope they capitalize on the way they did Winter Soldier and adapt that style of filmmaking, or the way that they shot Winter Soldier. Like that action pace, that like,
I feel you. I don't disagree with how
the trailer looks like it.
It gives me more Civil War vibes because of the magnitude of Red Hulk. Because he's a really strong foe, and it's kind of almost.
I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. I'm saying the way that they cinematically shot Winter Soldier.
Right, and I don't think
not storyline or anything.
I think that's more of an espionage, like,
true
spy thing.
True,
which is why that works, because it's to enhance human beings.
Right.
But
I just mean like the pace of how it's shot, the action shots we get. I'm talking about like from a film aspect, not a storyline. Cinematography aspect, like that. Yeah,
fair.
I hope it's shot that way, because with the action that we're seeing, it looks like it. But anyway,
we'll see.
That's a lot of
Captain America. Another day.
Yeah. So speaking of trailers, the What If Season 3 trailer dropped along with the episode titles for the full season.
Well, no, not all of them. So some of them. So there was only 7 there. It's gonna be 8 episodes, 8 or 9 episodes total.
Oh, I thought that was it.
No, that's just what's going to be included.
Why didn't they add the last
titles? Well, those are just things that are going to be included in the episodes.
No, I'm talking about the actual episode titles.
Right, I sent it to you.
Yeah,
those are not the titles.
I thought those were the titles of the episodes.
Those are just what to look forward to.
Oh, I thought those were episode titles.
No, they're not episode titles.
Oh,
no, episode titles have not been established.
So yet. I misread that. Okay,
you sure did.
All right. What else we got?
Well, with that, with the What If season 3, we're getting some huge things in there. So we're getting Agatha Harkness and some type of like singing montage. So she's coming back, and Catherine Hahn's voicing it. Which I didn't realize that Catherine Hahn voiced a shit ton of animated characters.
Yeah,
like a ridiculous amount of them. I was like, holy cow! I had no idea.
Yeah.
And then
Aubrey Plaza did her share of animated voices too. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to find nerd news. I'm not sure I'm not fucking finding it.
Well, then we see the big one, Storm,
at the end. Yeah,
building Mjolnir.
Mjolnir, yeah.
And she says, "I am the Thunder
Storm.
Goddess." Oh
no, I am Storm,
the Thunder Goddess.
I thought
Or the Goddess of Thunder.
Yeah,
Goddess of Thunder.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
Like that's not.
And then
ringing a
she
bell for
uses
me.
the lightning to. Is that Galactus? That
Where?
she's throwing the lightning at?
Galactus.
There's something that looked like the smoke form of Galactus.
Bro, now
that
you
she's
got me
throwing-
tripping. What are you talking about?
That she's throwing the thunder at. And the thunder's going all around it. But anyway, whatever. The thunder goes like that.
Bruh.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Watch the trailer again. But anyway, so the last trailer you guys need to check out is Thunderbolts.
That looks cool.
Hell yeah, we got another theatrical size trailer, or theatrical trailer, and this was really good. It shows more of Bucky doing his Winter Soldier thing, and we see a lot more of like each character. We don't really see Taskmaster much.
Oh,
in these
Taskmaster's
trailers.
totally gonna die.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Somebody has to die in these movies.
I like that Ghost is back.
Yeah.
That's cool because we thought
Because
she
we
was
don't
done.
see Taskmaster except for when that one clip where they find Bob.
And they
What, the
say
Sentry?
Taskmaster, and we see a little like quick shot of
Right.
Taskmaster.
And then when they go to confront Valentina, she's not in the shot.
Which in this trailer,
Actually, no, she is.
Yeah.
But she's like far in the back. That could easily be digitally removed.
Yeah.
Like deep faked how they did Hulk for
For
Infinity
Infinity
War.
War, yeah. So here, really quick, this is something that we need to talk about. We finally find out who fucking bought Avengers Tower, and it's Valentina.
Oh, we've been on this, yeah.
Right, but no, I'm saying now we have confirmation because we see them.
Oh,
they're
correct.
in Avengers Tower, and fucking Valentina sitting there making a drink the same way Tony Stark was.
Oh, fair point.
She's literally making the same like fucking kind of drink, and then she's talking to the Thunderbolts, and then she's like, a lot of battles have fought where you guys are standing, and blah blah. And she pokes fun at it was a hell of a lot to to buy this place, but the optics are good. And then so we find out that that's now Thunderbolts Tower, I guess.
I don't think so.
Their headquarters looks like.
So I think there's the running gag with we were talking about what's the Natasha's dad, Red Guardian. He's like, oh, we're the Thunderbolts, and no one likes it.
Oh, that's why there's a little asterisk next to it because he wants them to be named Thunderbolts,
Right?
And everybody else is like, no, and everybody's
So-
like, we're not called that,
Right. I think that's
because they're the Dark Avengers,
right. That's where I think they're going. I think they're going to become the Dark Avengers. That's why there's an asterisk at the end of the movie. It'll say,
Kind of the way Falcon
Continue.
and Winter Soldier
turns to Captain America and a Winter Soldier.
and the
Exactly.
White Wolf. No,
Is that what it doesn't say? White
I
Wolf.
thought it did.
No, it says Winter Soldier.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, but
I think it, and then we had mentioned this
Avengers
before.
sounds too villainous.
Yeah, that's the point. It's our version of the DC's or Marvel's version of the Suicide Squad.
Right, but those are bad guys on a team, but they're not villains at that point. Like Dark Avengers seems like they would go against the Avengers. They would fight the Avengers.
I get what you're saying. Kind of
They're-
like the
these are
Justice
like-
League, and then there's
These
the
are like the B team Avengers. So these would be like the
not
sub
really.
Avengers or like the X Force. Like I figured they would have a name like that where it's showing that these are the second to the Avengers.
The Dark Avengers that whole comic line was just created because Osborn was the one that led them. And so he had his own
Oz
political...
as Green Goblin?
Oh. He had his own political agenda. He was the Iron Patriot. He wore the Iron Patriot suit, essentially emulating Tony Stark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
But yes, no, I don't think... I think it's going to end with them becoming... All right, we're the Dark Avengers. We do the dirty shit. They're the anti-hero version of the Avengers.
Yeah.
That's the best way to explain what they are.
No, I
They're
100% get that.
Level type of...
And
They'll
I
do
feel
the
like
dirty work.
they should have a name that emulate or that represents that. Because Dark Avengers just... I don't know. To me, it just sounds villainous. Mm-hmm. Like, if you were to have, like, you know, the... I don't know. I'll brainstorm a name, but there's another name to call them to where it's not. It doesn't sound as villainous.
I mean, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but anyway.
Yeah.
In other news, Paramount reportedly also have big plans for Silver the Hedgehog, which we were talking about this, and I don't think I've heard of Silver Hedgehog.
He's from the future.
We got Shadow coming out in Sonic 3.
Correct.
Voiced by Keanu Reeves. So Silver, you said he's from the future?
He's from the future, yeah, and he's trying to like undo certain things, and save Sonic and things like that.
Okay,
but he's presented as a kind of like an anti-hero also. So weird. Like if you play he's never been featured in a video game that I'm aware of, at least.
Okay,
it's always been in like the comics or the shows.
Is he like all silver? And he has like black eyes or like black and red eyes.
I don't remember.
Or is that the robot one? Anyway, go ahead.
He's not a robot though. There is a robot.
No, I know, yeah.
Yeah, but I was telling
Sonic,
you that basically all of Sonic is just loosely based on Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, you were breaking it down.
Yeah,
and I was like,
so Sonic is Goku, Shadow is Vegeta, Knuckles is Trunks.
I thought Knuckles was Piccolo.
Oh, Piccolo, yeah. Tails is Krillin.
Yeah.
And then Silver Sonic is Future Trunks.
Yeah. Interesting.
They have 7 Dragon Balls. They have 7 Chaos Emeralds.
Oh, that's right.
Dude, there's so many parallels.
There's a lot. Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Dr.
Robotnik
is basically Dr. Gero, who creates the androids.
Oh, yeah. And they look similar, yeah.
Dude, it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's so
just like
much,
a skinny version of him,
yeah. There's so much similarities.
Mustache and all, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's cool. So we'll be on the lookout for that and give you guys any news that we find on that.
Correct. This one, I think, is this next line.
Yeah.
I almost pulled a Kanye West in there.
Yeah.
This next verse, bars. You know what I'm talking about?
So stupid.
Poop. I was so mad when I heard that song. But I love fucking with my
That
kids.
sounds like a person losing their fucking mind.
I mean, anyone that dates the Kardashians.
Going insane. Well, yeah. That's something. Anyway, now this is a rumor.
But I think this would be ultimate.
Has to be a fan rumor, and I would love for this to eventually be fan cast.
Yeah.
But go ahead, let them know.
So, Timothée Chalamet is rumored to debut in the MCU as playing the villainous Harry Osborn
in Spider-Man 4. Yes, Timothée, if you're nasty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Timothée. That would be. So like
he looks like fucking like a Harry Osborn, dude.
Yeah, he looks like a Harry Osborn, and he's a great actor.
And then you got that tension with him and Tom Holland already with Zendaya.
Right, that's what I was gonna say.
Because
I think in Dune they have such a good dynamic together. I think they.
They definitely play or act well together for sure.
They don't look bad as a couple. Now, my heart.
To be fair, Timothée Chalamet doesn't look that far off from Tom Holland.
He really doesn't, right?
Let's be real.
He just has curly hair.
If you're talking about a type of guy, they're in the same category.
I agree.
White, young, handsome as hell guys.
Just Timothée is taller.
Right. Yeah. They have different personalities.
Totally.
But looks-wise, they fall in that same category.
I mean, I'm rooting for Tom Holland all the way.
Oh, him and dude, that is a set in stone relationship. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, they can't break.
They're lasting.
Yeah,
they are the next. Who's another like power couple in Hollywood that just hasn't split up? No, there's people out there.
None that don't have controversy happening now. Will and Jada used to be it, but that's not the thing no more with their entanglement and all that.
Yeah. Yikes. John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, they've been together for a long ass time.
They have. I don't think they'll ever get in the limelight or something stupid like that. So
No,
Okay,
there's
fair
never
point.
controversy. But what I'm saying is they're going to be the next couple that are together for fucking 40 years or whatever. They're the next it couple to last a long time.
I think they're
as
going
far
to
as
be
Hollywood years
they're
go.
going to be the first it couple to make it last.
Yeah.
So like John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, they were never the it characters. They're the it actors.
Oh yeah, they were
You know what
never
I'm
the
saying?
big eight. Like for a while, it was Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston,
Right.
and
then Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie.
yeah,
And then obviously none of that worked out.
right. But anyway, I don't
this
think
is
there's
cool.
something special.
I think it. Oh yeah, they're beautiful together.
Tom Hanks.
Yeah, they've been
Who?
together. Rita Wilson,
Who else? Rita Wilson.
his wife.
No, I understand that.
I
You
don't
know who a couple I was surprised about? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know who a couple I was surprised about? Rita Ora and Ragnarok director.
Yeah. To
Taika Waititi.
yeah.
Because I follow both of them, but I was watching one of Rita Ora's, this is a while ago, one of her stories or something, and they're like, I think she's pranking him. And they're at their house, and I was like, what the hell am I looking at? Like, holy shit, when did they get together?
Dude, the funny guys.
Yeah.
It's the funny guys, bro.
Killing it. I mean, the funny guy got Scarlett Johansson.
Colin.
Yeah.
Colin.
And they have him, baby.
That's true.
Colin Jost.
Jost, yeah.
Yeah.
He rizzed the shit out of that. He must be rizzing it.
He's a great looking guy, though.
He's a
Too.
good-looking guy.
Not only that, like, he's got the funny, but he's a nice looking dude. You know what I mean? Like, and they met at SNL.
Yeah.
So, it's funny, guys, is where it's at. You know? Last bit of news, and this is Penguin related.
Yes.
Colin Farrell says his Penguin has about 5 or 6 scenes in the Batman 2 and is signed on for a third movie. My question to you, do you think third movie he's the big villain? I think with the success of this show, it's right there. It's ready.
See,
No?
I think he's gonna play it.
Or you think he's going to share the limelight with like a Mr. Freeze?
I think so.
Like how they did. No,
with
he was the
Selena
main
Kyle.
bad guy in Michael Keaton's.
No, Selena Kyle was too. Catwoman was just as bad.
Yeah, but she wasn't really a villain like
Right.
Penguin was a villain. She was kind of teetering
So
the
I
line.
think it can go two ways. If they do and he becomes the big bad, I don't want that because then that character can continue. The Penguin's known for being this sleazy little, and Sal says it. And he's like, "You little sewer rat." He's always been that sleazy guy that can sneak his way out of every shitty thing that happens, and then resurface.
And correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't Penguin always die? Isn't that part of his
Apparently,
lore?
but doesn't. You know,
But that's part of his thing, is that he's a villain that always dies.
right? But dies, and then that actually turns out being alive. That's
No,
what I'm saying.
like dies.
I mean, in the movie, that one movie, he died. Yeah.
Yeah, Danny DeVito's he dies. He did he die in Gotham? No, he was still alive at the end of Gotham. Right. He, like he said, he dies. Okay.
Right.
I thought part of his lore was that he dies, but I may be just thinking like his mom. His mom and everyone dies.
Yeah.
This is the only. Well, I'll skip that. But, yeah, maybe I'm just blending the two. But yeah, that is it for I think.
Yeah, I got nothing
right.
else.
Nothing else.
Yep. Just make sure you guys like and subscribe and click the notification to keep up with all of the latest of nerd news.
Wham! All right, so now we are gonna have another Spitfire round,
What's
and
the score?
I don't know. I think we're tied up.
No, we're not. You fucking liar.
Shit. You're up. What?
9-7.
Yeah.
I got one more to go. That's right.
I was getting to that, and I was gonna say this might be the final Spitfire
I might put a fork in this one.
if this guy can pull it through. Let's see. I'm not gonna make it easy. That's for damn sure.
Well,
I'm gonna mount my comeback right now. Let's get her done. And as always,
all right, producer, what you got?
give me 1 sec. Zone.
Waiting for the princess.
So we got 10, right? Fuck off. We got 10?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Good to go.
All right. Which hero can shrink to the size of an ant and grow to giant proportions?
I can make a dirty joke.
There's
A few of them.
Yeah. Is this only Marvel that we're doing, or we're just doing any character?
It says lesser known superheroes.
Okay.
What is the name of the superhero who can control machines with its mind?
Oh, there's one in The Boys, but I don't know if that's what you're talking about.
Controls machine with his mind.
Machines?
Yeah.
I know there's a mutant that has that power, but I don't know what his name is.
Yeah. Okay.
Which lesser known hero has the power of elasticity and goes by the name Plastic Man?
Isn't it Plastic Man? Are you saying this name?
Which is lesser known of the power?
Plastic Man?
Okay, this question makes no sense.
All right, we'll skip that one.
Yeah, we both get a point.
No, we'll just skip that one. She can give us another one.
What is the name of the blind superhero who uses echolocation?
Wow, dude. Another softball, dude. Sticks.
All right, let's see if you know this one then.
Technically.
That's still right.
Which hero can manipulate probability and go by the codename Domino?
You just gave the name.
Yeah, Domino.
No, but codename Domino. What's her real name?
Oh, I don't know. Her fucking
Oh,
name.
shit. She's in Deadpool too.
Yeah. If it says their code name, don't tell us the code name anymore. Or goes by.
Yeah.
Just give us their power, and then we'll tell you. So because like Domino, I don't know her real name. I don't know what her real name is.
Did they say her real name?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, they're in the interviews.
Now what's next?
Yeah.
What is the name of the hero who can duplicate himself and is a member of the X-Men?
Duplicate himself?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not looking at yours, sir.
It's okay. Just making sure. Fucking cheater.
Whatever.
Which superhero has the power to talk to fish and often considered a joke?
Shark Boy.
What is the name of the superhero who can turn into any animal?
Yes, I hope you don't know this.
Read it again.
What is the name of the superhero who can turn into any animal?
Okay. 3 more.
Which lesser known hero is a cosmic surfboard and serves?
Just stop. Just stop. Hang 10 Man.
All right.
All right, go ahead.
What is the name of the superhero who can
Literally on your
stretch
toe.
his body like rubber?
Stretches his body like rubber.
Yeah.
Rubber Man. Okay.
Which hero gain? Oh, this one's too easy.
There's a new one.
Wait, how am I numbered?
That's 9. We skipped that. We skipped one, remember?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What is the name of the hero who can manipulate plants?
I thought you were going to say pants.
I was going to.
You said hero?
It says hero,
So it's not Poison Ivy.
No.
but he ain't no hero. Who is the name of the hero who can manipulate plants? Oh my god.
Nature Boy.
Damn, I don't know.
I don't know that one either. All right. I'm writing Nature Boy. I don't know. All right.
Captain Planet.
That's kind of true. All right. First one. So I wrote the Atom because the Atom can do that.
Correct.
Also, but I wrote Scott
Ant-Man
Lang.
too.
I wrote Scott Lang / the Atom.
Well, I wrote Ant-Man and Atom.
Yeah.
Because Scott Lang isn't the only Ant-Man. So. Hank Pym is the first one.
Right, but I was talking about DC. He was in Black Adam.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, okay. Because he can go large, but he can also go tiny. Right?
Correct.
Okay. All right, next one.
Ant-Man. Yep. Next one. What'd you say that?
What's the question?
What is the name of the superhero controlled machines with his mind?
I put Cyborg.
I wrote Tech Knight.
Cyborg.
Fucking. He can control. No, I thought he could just go into computer.
He can control
With
them.
his mind.
But he can control them too? Oh, I thought he could just like go into the computers. Oh, shit. Fuck. All right.
Echolocation.
Daredevil.
No, you wrote Ant-Man here. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
And then,
Echo boy.
and just so you know, the
You wrote
code,
Echo.
the code name was Nina Thorman.
Nina Thorman. You're right.
Nina Thorman is
Domino.
Domino?
Mhm.
Nina Thorman. I don't remember that name.
I do now.
That's what we skipped.
Yeah, that's the one we skipped.
Okay.
Okay, the X-Man, the guy who could duplicate.
Multiple
Man.
man.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. I didn't know if that was his name or not.
What's his real name?
John Cleaver.
Jamie Madrox.
Fuck.
Yeah.
All right.
Something like that.
Because the only one we saw was in Last Stand. Was it Last Stand or X2? But he was for the Brotherhood. Is that the same one? Remember he was in the Brotherhood and he multiplied himself in the woods? That's the same one? Okay.
Mm-hmm. So actually, we didn't skip the Domino one. We skipped a different one. After Cyborg, who was the one?
That was Domino that we skipped.
Yeah?
We still wrote it, but we skipped it. So then we technically only did 9.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, cool.
Okay, the talks to fish.
Aquaman.
Yeah.
Can turn into any animal.
Beast Boy?
Beast Boy.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Silver Surfer.
Silver fucking cheating right on his cup. Not even fair.
Mr. Fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah, so he fucking won.
And the last one, I don't know.
Swamp Thing.
Oh.
Plants? Really?
Yeah, that's
I
what he
guess
is.
seaweed is fucking plants and stuff.
Cool. So I got 8 right. You got 7.
Nerd with the knowledge strikes again. Damn you. I knew I gave you that nickname for a reason. Shit. Well done, sir. I am not worthy. No, you barely got.
You went on a good rampage.
I
to
did.
catch
I
up.
was coming back.
I
man.
was like, okay.
I was mounting the comeback. At least I didn't get blown out.
No.
As long as that, I'm happy. So, you didn't make me look like a.
How many they got wrong out of the 10?
Yeah. Put in the comments how many
Yeah,
you guys
let
got
us
right
know
wrong.
if anybody figured out Domino's real name.
Yeah. And or it was a Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was Swamp Thing. That's pretty good.
Man, I can't believe you gave us Aquaman, Silver Surfer. Like, come on, lesser known my ass.
Well, Silver Surfer is not. If you know him, you know him. You know he's a
so
badass.
popular, dude.
He's not.
He's so popular.
I know so many people that don't know who he is.
I guess. But anywho,
I've always been a big Silver Surfer.
you have a cup for crying out loud.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
So remember we were talking about earlier in What If, before we jump into, you said you saw this thing. It's not. I know what you're talking about. It's not Galactus.
No, I don't know if I said it was Galactus, but I said it looked like Galactus.
It's Apocalypse.
Oh, okay. I said it looked like Galactus smoke form,
Which would
but
make
I didn't know what it was.
Okay, I get what you're saying. It makes sense because Apocalypse's armor is made from celestial armor. So maybe that's where you've got.
Is that
It's-
real?
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But it is not. It is Apocalypse.
Sweet.
And it looks like, what's a Moon Knight actor? Isaac.
Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac. Yeah, it looks like his Apocalypse from the X-Men.
Oh, nice.
timeline.
But why is he in like a big form like that?
He can grow and get small.
He's another one.
Yeah, but just not. He doesn't do tiny. He just does normal size, and then
Well, he's a big dude. Okay, fair enough. All right. So let's dive right into episode 7 Top Hats. Yes.
So Oz fights to preserve his family and his enterprise, while Sophia makes a shocking discovery.
Yes.
I think this is my favorite. So Agatha all along gave us basically the finale in episode 8.
Okay.
And then we got an episode 9 explaining some backstory.
Oh,
but the finale was really episode 8.
Correct.
This is my favorite episode before season finale, I think, in most series that I've seen. It does a really good job setting up, but not giving us the full detail of Oz's backstory.
Mm-hmm.
We see some shitty things happen in this one.
Yeah.
And you're like, holy shit. And then you really think like...
So this is definitely Oz's backstory episode. And then episode 8 is his mom's backstory episode.
Yes.
For sure.
But I think as far as finale goes, this does a really good build up.
Oh, 100%. Like it felt like a two-parter. Like a 2-episode finale like fair Agatha. Point. Yeah. For sure.
But yeah, this is easily one of the greatest 1-2 punch part 1 part 2 finale that I've seen put together. And I think I appreciate it more because I had no expectations going into it.
Yeah, we were talking about that. Like this, I had no expectations. I just knew it was something I wanted to see, especially since we didn't get much from the Batman movie of Oz in it. He was still low level at that point. He was still kind of a nobody.
Yeah.
We knew who he was, obviously, but there was no really like setup of the Penguin in the Batman. But we are seeing...
And honestly, I didn't even know this was happening after the Batman came out.
Right.
You know, until they said, Matt Reeves.
A little bit of a... Matt Reeves, the comedian, is definitely... No, but yeah, Matt Reeves set up... I think he did this on purpose and strategically, the way he's setting up this story. And we did catch Batman's story early on. Right. So this is like a very young Batman, kind of fresh out the gate Batman, where he's just starting up.
Which is cool because it allows all the other villains that Batman has to get to power.
Yeah, to grow too. Yeah.
Because a lot of the big feats that Batman has doesn't happen until he's a well-established, feared Batman. All the low-level gangsters have already been obliterated by Batman. Mm-hmm. And at this point, when he's in his essentially prime, that's when he starts bringing on Robin. Yeah. And that's where he starts, teaching his sidekicks. And then he needs his sidekick very much so to help take down these like doctors, Poison Ivy.
Which Big Bang Theory had made a funny joke. He's like, man, so many villains have their doctorate. Yeah. Like they need to do a better screening process about that.
For real.
Like so many villains, dude, are smart as shit.
I would say Gotham, its corruptness has a lot to do by those doctors who became dirty. But,
for sure.
I agree.
Yeah. That's funny.
But yeah, that's pretty funny.
Uh-huh.
All right, but let's dive right into this.
Yeah.
So it opens up Island in the Stream by Kenny Rogers is playing. By Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton. Mm-hmm. It plays on the record.
Very
and then Oz's leg is still messed up as a kid. We see Oz as a kiddo. This is the first time we see Oz as a...
Incorrect, no.
As a kid walking around.
No. The last episode we did.
Did we?
The first time we ever see him as a kid, he's walking around with his brothers limping? And stuff. Yeah.
Damn, I remember that. I don't know why it stuck out to me.
Because this is, we already know his brothers and stuff, who they are and stuff by episode 7, right? Or is this where we see him, where she has the oldest take both the boys out?
This is where it happens.
So you're correct. Sorry. I was thinking...
I think we
episode 8. Sorry. You're right. This is the first time we see him as a kid walking around.
Right. We see him as a kid. We don't see him walk around until episode 7.
Right.
I didn't realize that he had to limp his entire life.
Oh, he was born like that, yeah.
Yeah.
That foot was born that way. Yeah.
Well, right, but I didn't know they were going to establish that in the series.
Okay.
I didn't know if it was going to be a freak accident, and that's when the brothers passed away, and then that left him scarred.
Because remember, when Victor asked him, he says the streets took his brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Which, very interesting.
Total lie.
Very interesting. But yeah, so go ahead.
And then Frances seems to be doing some accounting work,
Yeah.
right? So it kind of
Numbers.
looks like she's crunching some numbers, putting them in a book. Obviously, given what's going on and how it falls into place.
It's for Rex, right? She
totally
does
for
the
Rex.
numbers for Rex.
Yeah, for who's the local mobster at that time. We don't get Rex's last name, so we don't know if he was like a Falcone or Maroni.
I don't believe so. I think he was his own guy.
Correct.
And then when he goes out of power, the Falcones and stuff step in, or the Maronis step in
Probably.
and stuff like that. Well, go ahead.
So Francis
This is like
gives
20 some odd years before, 30.
easily.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe like 25 to 30.
So I would think it was just a different era. So like he was the mobster back then, and then
right, but I'm not sure because the Falcones had been in.
they come from Italy, no?
Who?
The Falcones.
Yeah.
See, so they maybe when they come, they take him out.
Right. I don't know.
Rex Calabrese.
Oh, Calabrese. They do say
Yeah.
his last name.
That's right.
Yeah.
So he's just another known mobster gang, but I don't think he's ever been that big time where he ruled.
No, he was street level mobster for
I
sure.
think so.
Yeah. He wasn't like city takeover mobster. Yeah. But go ahead. Okay.
So we kind of see some like early start of like where Oz is like side eyeing his brothers. They're doing like this little zombie chase around. It's cute, innocent,
Yeah.
but Oz just he doesn't fuck with his brothers. It really seems like, and
Well, then they try to involve him, and then doesn't he play along?
no, he just stop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's like basically fuck off, dude. Like,
Yeah.
And it's the younger one that was trying to talk to him. I'm trying to play the zombies, and the mom plays along too. And so he
That's what it was. The mom that played along. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
He doesn't really like want to entertain that. He just wants his mom to himself. It's a little weird.
He wants his mom's full attention for
Right.
sure. Yeah.
But he's the younger kid. He
He's the middle child.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He's the middle child. So there you go. There's the answer. That's what I meant to say. So he's the middle child. The middle child usually always gets fucking left out. Because the oldest is the favorite because it's the firstborn, and the youngest is the baby.
And usually it's the middle child that's like starving for the attention.
Correct.
Yeah.
So total textbook what's happening right now.
Yeah.
So Francis ends up giving, or telling the kids to go outside, and then Francis is his mom, gives the book, the accounting book to Jack and tells Jack to give it to Rex. And then she
says for him to take his brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they go walking around, or before they leave, she's like, just make sure you, as soon as the lights turn on, you get your ass back home, which is totally
how
old
we
school.
grew up.
Yeah.
Mhm. Those street lights didn't just light up the city. They were a
like,
signal.
shit, gotta get home.
Yeah.
So Oz doesn't want to go initially. He's like, "No, I'm gonna stay here with Ma." I love how he says "Ma."
These guys sound like they're straight up from Boston.
Yeah,
I
dude,
love
it's hilarious.
everywhere. Like they even say tree instead of three. It's tree 1, 2, tree.
Oh yeah.
4. Yeah, I love it.
But she's like, "No, you go. You got to get some exercise, strengthen your leg or some shit like that."
Yeah.
So he's like, "All right, fine." So they go. They give the book to Rex. Initially, Jack is like protecting his brothers, not letting him go, but them go by Rex.
He's totally the surrogate dad.
Yeah,
For sure.
agreed.
Yeah.
And perfectly put. Yeah, exactly. And then so Rex, he looks at the book, closes it, pulls out a $50 bill, gives it to Jack, and then as they're walking, Oz, it looks like it started at a young age. Oz, like, he's like, "What's up, Rex?" Or, "Hey, Rex." He like greets him.
He recognizes the power.
Yeah.
And I think he's attracted to it, right? So he kind of wants to be known to that person of power.
Yeah.
He wants to be on their radar. And I think that's where it starts, you're right. So like he tries to make it known, like, hey Rex, like,
Yeah.
I'm somebody you should know.
Right.
And
And I think it's because he's not getting the attention at home. He wants to find the attention somewhere. You get what I'm saying?
Well,
so he obviously still wants the attention from his mother, clearly, but he realizes he can find attention elsewhere that can also be beneficial for him.
Yeah, well, I think it's because like he sees that power, attention comes with power.
Fair.
Everybody in power gets attention. So I think his thinking is if I can get to that power, I'll get the attention from Ma and from everybody.
Everybody.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's where, that's probably where it sparks for him. where he's like, oh man, people with power have all the attention.
And he's super observant.
Yeah.
You know, he gives that story to Al in the beginning about the guy that's like revered and people like love him because he helped.
Oh, when he was coming down the block in the car. Yeah, you knew that the block was taken care of. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And like that's where it emulates from, like his whole idea of, even though he's a total con man.
Yeah.
He sells this idea of like, I can really con people better by appearing like this figure of, you know, that people are revering him and love him, and
he's taking care of everybody,
right?
Yeah.
And you can really own people by taking care of them, even though you have your own interests.
Yeah, well, I mean, Rex talks about it later in the next episode, and we'll get to that, but yeah, I see it as Penguin genuinely does want to take care of people because he knows that's how you get power and you get respect and loyalty.
Correct.
Is by taking care of people. Like money buys people, but it doesn't buy loyalty. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like,
and I think that goes back to the comment I made when we were talking about Sophia and when her dad threw her into Arkham. It was one to
teach her a lesson.
Yeah.
That
scared the shit out of me. To teach her a lesson, but two, to toughen her up.
Yeah.
Remember I was telling you?
Yeah.
Like, I think it was his idea, like, if she comes out, she's going to come out strong enough to lead this family. And that's exactly what I think.
That was her training camp, in a way.
Yeah, it's either she comes out strong enough to lead this family, or she doesn't make it, and that means she's not strong enough to lead this family. So fuck her at that point.
Right.
Which is, like, the ultimate worst way to parent, but Jesus Christ.
Absolutely.
And with this, I think this is where the mom chooses to change her parenting style, similar to how Falcone did, or to Carmine did.
Yeah,
Carmine Falcone. Like she kind of turns into what Carmine was, and just like feeds Oz these lies, so that way she can, like, all right, well, I gotta make my bed's made. You know, my kids are, you know, gone. This is I gotta lean into this because I'm not gonna lose the only thing I have left.
Right. Yeah.
And just manipulates the shit out of Oz.
So I got a little bit of backstory on Rex. So Rex was only the boss of a poor area of Gotham. So basically the
squid.
No, what's that place called?
The zoo?
Crown Point.
Crown Point. Yeah.
He was probably just the leader of Crown Point. So he remained less powerful than other criminal leaders, such as like the Falcones and stuff. But unlike Falcone or Maroni, who were only interested in power and recognition, Rex never lost faith in his humanity. So he still remained that guy that people can go to and depend on and stuff like that. You know, not like the other guys where they just in it for the power and the money. So, okay, cool. Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Oh, okay, yeah.
The mom said that was revered because he knew that.
That's right. So you think it was Rex?
I don't think it was Rex because he says the name of who it was, right?
No, I think it was Rex.
Maybe it is Rex.
Because he said I grew up with the guy. Yeah, he said I grew up, you know, with the guy that was revered and all that stuff. He took care of his people, and I think it was Rex he was talking about.
Maybe it was. Yeah,
makes sense. Okay, go ahead.
So whatever. So they Jack gets the $50. They take off, and Oz is like, "Oh, you got $50?" Like, "Oh, how much you give him?" He's like, "Oh, $50." Like, "Let me see." And that's where he's like, maybe his thirst for money came from. Thinking that money can really solve every problem that he ever had.
Or people with power have that money. Yeah.
Right. So whatever. So they go underground. They were gonna go to the movies, weren't they? They had said that they were gonna. And then they end up going to play tag, and they play this thing called flashlight tag.
But they go underground,
right?
Where Penguin has his operation, where he's building his empire, and it's where the tunnels underneath Gotham.
Yeah. So that tunnel seems to be like an overflow rain tunnel, or overflow like the Gotham Harbor, like whatever. Because
what are those like train cars or whatever that's in them then?
The old they say that it's the old trolley system, like similar to
trolley system. That's right.
Right. Okay, it's similar to how in Agatha All Along they just Westview had that like the transit system that just never really kicked
Right.
off.
Okay.
That's what
I forgot. It was a trolley system.
right.
Go ahead.
And so
Yeah.
they were only supposed to play flashlight tag in the
that area.
station, and then they go underneath to that rain overflow
Down this like ladder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it seems that's like the overflow of where like rain lifts from the harbor. You know what I mean? So that it doesn't come. And I'm pretty sure they built that so that it didn't go into the station.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Into where all the trolleys and trains were. The transit.
Yeah.
So they're playing, and the brother Jack and
He sees one, or he hears them first, and he's going towards it.
yeah,
And he
Jack
sees
and-
them.
Yeah. No, he doesn't see them.
Yeah. He looks out. He goes, "I can see you."
Oh, right,
He's like,
right,
"But
right.
you know, I can't go down there." And then
Well, they tell him to go first. Then he
Yeah.
slips. Then he flips out and gets pissed off. He's like, just because I see you. He's like, they're like, oh, the light didn't touch us because they play flashlight tag.
Yeah.
So if you get caught in the light,
the beam of the light. Yeah. That's how you get. Yeah.
um,
So then like you say, he gets pissed off and he climbs back up. And he fucking slams the door and locks it.
and takes off.
And then what does he say?
He's like, good luck getting out of here.
Yeah. And then dips.
Yeah.
Goes
Not
home.
realizing that it was gonna rain and overflow like that.
Bullshit. He didn't care. He wanted to lock them in there.
Yeah.
Once it started raining and stuff, that's when he didn't care that it was raining. And then he's like, well, fuck it. He goes, all right then. He's like, I'm going to get mine all to myself.
I think he was worried at first. He's like, are they gonna make it? Are they gonna be all right? That's what I see and look like as a kid. Because as a kid, I don't think he's that sick and twisted and demented just yet. Does he become that? Yes.
Yeah.
But I think he's just like, it's raining.
I feel like that was the
jar is
final
overflowing, and he's
straw,
like,
though. I feel like that was the final straw of them doing that to him because they're essentially poking fun at his disability.
right.
I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back for Penguin, and that's where his savageness started.
What?
From.
Yeah. I just think because he was able to kill his own brothers, every other murder he had after that was easy.
Yeah.
Because
Well, he says to Vic, it gets easier after this. And he didn't directly kill his brothers. He just didn't do anything to save them. So,
crazy.
yeah. That
So he's there.
blew his whole story of the streets taking his brother
Yeah.
and everything up until now.
And everything that comes out of that guy's mouth is a fucking lie.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, there's a pathological liar, super like top level narcissist.
Yeah.
Just like
In it for himself.
absolutely.
The only other person that he cares about is his mom. That's it.
His mom.
Everybody else falls to the wayside.
So after he locks him down there, he goes back to the apartment and he's like soaked. And the mom's like, "What happened?" She's like, "Oh, I didn't want to go to the movie."
Well, no, he goes, where are your brothers? And he goes, oh, they went to the movies.
Right.
And then he goes, they're like,
She's like, "Well, what money?" She's like, "Rex gave him money."
yeah.
And
And,
then-
then she's like, why didn't you go with him? He goes, I just want to come home and spend time with you. And
So
then,
then she offers to put on a movie. She's like, "We could watch a movie, even though I know what movie you're gonna want to watch."
yeah.
And they put on the same movie.
Uh-huh.
And we see them dancing, this whole little dancing number. He starts killing people, and they're all wearing top hats and penguin tuxedos, which is the origin of where he becomes the penguin.
Yeah. I felt like that symbolized the seed of the penguin planted
Yes,
right there. It was like,
absolutely.
oh, this is the birth of the penguin right here.
Yep.
Boom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when he was shooting the other people and dancing with him,
He's smiling.
well, no, not only that, at that same time, his brothers were dying.
Yeah.
So I love that parallel. It was
Yep.
fucking awesome.
And he kept
Well
looking
done.
out the window, coming back.
And like you
turned
said, looking at
over.
the jar overfilling.
Yeah, and he was like, I think it was starting to settle in. He's like, yeah, they're not going to make it. Where he just accepted the faith and what just happened, and he was going to deal with the circumstances. But he was going to lie his way out of the whole situation.
But the thing that you got to take away from that is that if you look at him, he's so happy
To have
because
his
now
mom to
he
himself.
has his ma to himself.
Absolutely, dude. That's fucking scary.
Yeah, dude.
Can't do that. I just couldn't think. I couldn't imagine what a kid like that, how evil they can be to pull that off,
But imagine being the mom, dude, the parent,
and
to
knowing the whole fucking time.
that. Well, you skipped a little bit ahead, but yeah, go ahead. What after that?
So they were watching a movie. He comes back from the kitchen. He like brings her a water or something like that, right? And then she's like, "What movie did you say they went to go see?" And he's like, "Oh, Beetlejuice, I think." It's a good plug for HBO's Beetlejuice and stuff like that.
Yeah, just came out, yeah.
And then let me see.
And then a little like shout out to Michael Keaton who played Batman. A little connection there.
Oh yeah, good call. I didn't even catch that right there.
But after this, does it not flash forward to the mom being super depressed because they now know that the boys are dead, right? And then he's in the kitchen, he's cooking her a meal, he brings it to her.
Not yet.
Or did I fast forward a little bit?
Yeah, just a bit. So right now, the dream of living in a penthouse comes from the mom. The mom says that's what she wants to do one day, just be able to live that. That's where that whole idea came from.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why Oz wants to do that. So they're watching the film. Oz keeps looking over his shoulder. And then he doesn't seem scared or sad on what he just did. Mm-hmm. And then from there, it flips to Oz.
Current day.
Mm-hmm. Coming home. And Vic is knocked out in the apartment. And his mom's gone.
Yeah.
He wakes up Vic and he's like... what happened? And Vic tells Oz that Sophia took her, and then Sal shows up outside. So they look out the window. They're like, "Oh fuck!"
Mm-hmm.
He's like, Oz tells Vic that you need to get out of here, and to get his, and they have to get his mom. In order for him to get his mom, he's gonna have to face this head on.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, call Zal, Donnie Boy, go down the chain, and get me a fucking army kid.
Yeah. And then he sends him out.
Yeah.
He goes through the window, right?
Correct. Well, the one thing I wanted to catch on to is like, Vic is like, I'm so sorry. And Oz is like, fuck your guilt. He said, get me an army kid.
Yeah.
So
we'll
right
deal with
there,
that later. Yeah.
Yeah. And right there, I was just like, this guy really has no remorse for anything or anybody. Like, it's really all his agenda. Obviously, and it benefits him for him to go get this army so he can get his mom back. Yeah. But
I saw it more as Penguin knows how to prioritize. Like, he knows right now is not the time to sit here and grieve or to be guilty about what just happened. We got to deal with this, and then you can feel like that shit later. But right now we got to do this. I don't think
he ever feels it later, is what I'm saying.
Oh, no, granted. But what I'm saying is he's telling Vic, like, right now, we don't got time for that. Right now we got to do this to get my mom back. Right. Because then you could feel like that shit. But right now, let's go.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So, yeah. Penguin's always been like that. He's always been like, he knows.
Savage, dude.
But I mean, like, he knows that there's a time and place for everything. So he knows right now is the time to do this. Later we can do that. So yeah, go ahead.
So then Sal comes in. Oz is like, yielding, gives up his gun, and then Sal beats him with his own golf club. He's like, I took this from your fucking apartment.
The same one he destroyed his apartment with. Yeah. So he beat him with his own, with Penguin's own golf club. Yeah. I would have loved if it was an umbrella.
It would have been cool.
Took the umbrella from his house.
Right?
What?
Imagine.
Yeah.
So then Sal tells him that, Sophia... Oh, no, Oz tells Sal that Sophia got him on a tighter leash.
Poking him.
Yeah. And then he's like, oh, well, we got your mother. And Oz begs for Sophia to not hurt his mom. Because he calls Sophia, and then we can hear Sophia talking. And then Sal... makes it clear that he doesn't give a fuck what
she does, what Sophia does to his mom, right?
No, it makes it clear that he doesn't give a shit about the drugs or any of that stuff.
Oh,
because he kind of says like, you can take this empire, why would you want to work for Sophia? Like, you're her. That's when he makes the jab about him being on a tighter leash, with Sophia, and then it's clear his objective is only to make Oz suffer. The way, because he lost his wife and his son.
Oz took his wife and son. Yeah.
And then it flips away from that scene, and then it goes to Sophia interacting with Francis, and this part's kind of cool. So basically, Francis is like, quit the shit. Like, are you gonna kill me or not? So Francis at first seems really fearless in what's happening. And Sophia goes, it depends on how Oz shows. It shows us where the drugs are that he stole, and then we'll have options. Yeah. So basically, Sophia's just really waiting it out to see how everything pans out with Sal and Oz before she decides if she's going to kill his mom or not.
Yeah. But she's got to see. Yeah, she's taking it like step by step, basically,
Right.
and she's got like a plan to do either. If,
And I
if
like
it goes this way.
that Sophia has her emotions in check, typically, for the most part, to not jump the gun and like beat the shit out of.
Oh, she's always been like that. But I feel like if it was her brother, like if this was fresher to where her brother was just killed, she wouldn't. Because remember how she was before? She was pissed off.
Oh,
she was constantly losing her shit. Yeah. So I think it's because she's had time to deal with that. Now she's got her head on straight and she got rid of her family and all that shit.
Yeah.
She released some of that anger. You know what I mean? So now she's playing chess, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah. I agree though. Mm-hmm.
So then after that, Frances goes, she's like, your house humiliated all that.
Yeah. just
she's like, it lacks color, basically, saying that like it's just like super basic. I don't understand what all the hype is, essentially.
Well, didn't she goes, what do you guys not like color?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Sophia goes, it's kind of her dad's fault and her whole family's fault. They didn't really focus on much of that shit.
Yeah.
So Sophia keeps talking to like Frances, is trying to find out more information from her, just trying to figure out why Oz ticks the way Oz ticks, and she's totally interrogating him.
Yeah,
interrogating her, and then she asks what happened to Oz's brothers, and Frances gets triggered by that, and then she kind of like starts to have, I wouldn't call it an episode, but like she starts like.
Her mind started slipping, right?
Yeah. And then into the night, and started revealing when they disappeared and what happened. And then Julian comes in for Sophia and tells her that they need to talk or whatever. And then so she steps out, talks to Julian in her office, like that meeting room that they're always in. And then tells her what happened, and that... then Julian goes, your niece is at the group home or orphanage, and that she wants to talk to the cops because she says that she's seen something.
Oh yeah.
And Sophia says that she'll take care of it, but she's gonna need his help, and obviously insinuating at interrogating / using his methods of hypnosis to get information out of Frances.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, this is going to get crazy.
Yes.
We're going to uncover the truth.
Yes.
Whether Frances likes it or not.
Yeah.
And this is where I'm like, I think she's going to die. I didn't think she was going to be a vegetable. I thought she was going to die.
Yeah, especially with what I know is that Oz's mom usually dies.
Yeah.
And then that sets Penguin off.
Yeah. I also didn't anticipate Sophia surviving the series.
You thought he was gonna kill her?
Everybody. I thought Oz was gonna murder Vic, murder Julian, murder Sophie.
Just
everybody.
He was gonna last and
clean slate.
Yeah.
And have nobody tied to what he's done and hasn't done. And
I can't wait to get there, but I did not. But go ahead.
I'll tell you when my mind changed, but
okay,
not just yet.
All right.
And then
so she goes to the orphanage, right?
Not yet. So it cuts back to Sal and his crew. They're in Oz's subway base.
Oh, that's right. That does happen.
They
before.
walk in. They start fucking blowing people's heads off. Sal tells everybody that they all work for the Gigante and the Maroney family.
Yeah, he's like, Penguin's not in charge anymore. Or Penguin's not calling the shots anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Sal looks at the map and he realizes that, Oz really has access to the entire fucking city. He's like, oh, like a fucking super rat. He makes that joke at him.
Yeah.
And Oz tries to one last con with Sal and just kind of push him to turn on Sophia. And
he's telling him like he could take over
the
operation, right? But I don't know if you noticed it, but ever since he got taken in and put on his knees, he kept eyeballing one of his guys. Yeah. He kept glancing at him, giving him looks like, hey, get ready. And he kept doing it. And then as he's Sal's constantly, doing his little speech or, talking to everybody, blah, 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 this and that. We get to a moment where Oz, what does he yell out like now, or does he
not yet?
He
so
just
he's like trying to do one last con with Sal, trying to push him to turn on Sophia.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sal goes, you're going to die with Sophia. That's basically what Sophia and Sal had already agreed on.
Yeah.
So he wasn't going to turn his back on her until then.
Mm-hmm.
And this is when Oz is like, well, I guess we don't have a choice. He starts digging in the death of his wife and his son. So he goes, Oz describes the smell and the scene of when Nadia and his son died.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, he makes a jab at them when they burn alive. And what's is that about what kind of special or what kind of hairspray did your wife wear?
She lit up like
a fucking, I forgot what the term he used, like a campfire of some sort. Like just fucking
I don't get
lit.
how the fuck Sal just didn't shoot him right
then
in the
and
head.
there.
Yeah.
Well, he grabs the gasoline tank. I think he was gonna burn him alive. And then Sophia's men, the Gigante men, like henchmen, stopped him. And then they kind of like fight each other
because they know he's meant for Sophia.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And then so one of the guys stops him, and then an all-out brawl happens, and that's when I don't remember if he screams now, but I think he does give a cue or something.
I think he does. He goes now, and then that's when the guy grabs the thing. He grabs the wires and pulls it,
and the power
and
goes out.
all the lights go out, and then you just hear fucking fighting like crazy,
and gunshots going off.
And then do lights kick back on, like the floodlights or the something?
The lights in the trolley stay on.
Oh, okay. Because they took out all the lights that were like fixtures on the wall. Like
I think the mounted lights go off,
and the lights that were all the standing lights.
They have some standing lights to stay on.
Those go.
So it's semi lit.
Okay.
So the all-out brawl happens in the train cart. Sal and Oz fight, and then Sal has a fucking heart attack, dude.
Yeah.
Like I didn't see that happening. And then
he's like they're fighting, and he gets Penguin to where Penguin's like leaning on a chair or a table or some shit, and it looks like he's like Sal's about to give like the final blow, and then he goes and he stops, and then he's like, I'm like, oh, heart attack, and then and he's like, and then he falls down
back and then falls.
And fucking Penguin's like, he goes, oh, what happened? I thought you were gonna kick my ass. You're supposed to kill me, blah blah. And then he's like, when he dies, he's like, he goes, no, I won.
Yeah.
He goes, I beat you. Yeah.
So Oz seems to have this like complex that where he has to keep saying things out loud to believe his own lies. I think he's told so many lies that just thinking about them doesn't really work for him. He has to say them out loud, and he really believes every lie that comes out of his mouth.
I see it as similar to that, but he says things to make them the way like true. So he says stuff, he constantly repeats it, and so like for him that his brain says, oh, that's the truth.
Right.
Where like he keeps saying it over and over and over, and then that becomes his truth. That becomes reality.
Correct. Yeah.
So
correct,
like yeah, for sure. So and that's why he keeps telling you, I beat you, and then he fucking puts two just to make sure.
Puts a couple more than two. He puts like
a few.
He shoots him twice, and then he throws one more at the end.
Yeah,
I think it's like 3 or 4 that he puts in.
Yeah.
But it's just
to make sure.
Yeah.
In case that heart attack.
Which I don't blame him. I would have shot him too, just to make sure.
I'd have fucking walked down Maroni's head.
Well, he throws him.
We have your queen. What does Deadpool say?
Oh yeah, I have your.
I control this beast or whatever the fuck.
Stupid.
I have your queen. Okay. Which Deadpool Wolverine is now available on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
can't
so
wait.
go watch that. I like the promo for it. It was fucking hilarious.
I haven't had time to be on it, but
it's Deadpool sitting next to Al, and he's got the Wolverine bucket, and then Al's has her hand in the bucket, and
nice.
Yeah, it was funny. We'll go ahead.
Oz throws Sal's body in the middle of the area, in the middle of all the men, and he goes. He kind of rallies up his guys, and he's like, he's like preparing them for the storm that's coming.
Mm-hmm.
So then it flips over to Sophia. She's going to visit her niece at the
orphanage.
At the orphanage. And as she's walking in there, she's getting flashbacks of her in Arkham. So she's kind of getting a little loose.
They actually shot this where they shot Arkham. They changed up the walls and everything.
Oh, okay. Fair. Yeah, I mean, that would make sense.
That's how why it has that similar look. And I don't know if you got this, but Sophia, or the niece, is Sophia. When she walks in, Sophia's the same. Her niece is the same way Sophia was in Arkham, like laying on the bed.
Oh yeah,
just
in the
there.
fetal position. Like
So the parallel is that her niece is
that's why
Sophia in Arkham. It's
that's
the
why
same
she
way.
cries when she comes out.
Yeah,
Because it hurts her to see her niece like that. Because that was her.
she realized that she is doing what her father did to her,
Right.
Just in a less savage way, because it's an orphanage, not an insane asylum. But it's essentially the same thing. She locked her away.
Her father killed her mother. She killed her mother and father. So yeah, I mean, it's honestly, essentially, it is.
She realized she's her father. She's doing exactly what her dad does.
We're only difference is we're comparing oranges to grapefruits. That's and they're basically the same family. Really the only difference.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Or red apples to green apples. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and it's crazy. So whatever. So she goes in there. She tells Gia that it was an accident.
Gia, that's her name. Okay.
And she kind of starts chatting with her, like, "Hey, kind of hear that you want to talk to the cops. Essentially, what do you want to tell them?"
And she asked, "Did you kill my parents?" She goes, "Is that what you believe?"
Right.
And then she's trying to convince her that it was just an accident.
Yeah, she's trying to manipulate her, and she's like, "You believe that I would do that? I would never do that."
I loved your parents.
Yeah.
Lies, but
yeah,
you loved killing her parents.
yeah. And then Gia goes. She tells Sophia what she's seen. She's like, "Oh, I saw a mask in your bag," and then Sophia, like, kind of tries to console her, looks at her, and then sees the cuts on her wrist, and she's like,
"Well, on her, all up her arm."
Yeah.
I thought those were scratches. I didn't see those as cuts.
One or the other.
When we first started.
But either way,
no. I think it was. They did say it was cuts.
Either way, she's inflicting pain on herself.
Yes.
Whether they're her scratching herself or she's cutting herself. Either way, it's
scars now.
It's when you're depressed, and you're lost, and you don't have a way out. Inflicting pain on your own self is usually it's a temporary relief, but it doesn't. It's not the answer. It's never the answer
for sure.
And so when Sophia sees the cuts on Gia's hand, she asks, she's like, "Did you do that to yourself?" And then Gia doesn't respond. And then she sits next to her and she hugs her. She's like, "Come here." And Sophia tells her that they all deserve to die, and this is a gift that she has, and she shouldn't hurt herself. And when she gets out, she's gonna find a new home.
Yeah, which I was saying,
she's gonna find a new home that she deserved much better than this family could ever give her.
What I was saying was do to Gia what they were trying to do to Sophia. Send her to Italy. Give her a brand new start.
Oh, yeah.
Set her up out there. Get her far away from Gotham, from all of that, from that whole family. Just set her up in Italy.
The way 8 ends, I don't think that's going to happen for the
Obviously. But, she's a part of the system now, unfortunately. Yeah. Unless some family comes to claim her. But we don't know. That's neither here nor there. But go ahead.
So then Sophia walks out of the room and she fucking breaks down in tears. But she gets interrupted by a call from Sal. So she answers it, and it's not Sal. It's Oz calling from Sal's cell phone. And
which happens a lot in this show.
Yeah,
people call from other people's phones
all the time,
and they think it's that person, and then they're like, "Wait, what?
What the fuck?"
Yeah.
So Oz says that he killed Sal, and it's time for her to take the throne, essentially. And he's like, "You can have everything, this entire empire, everything I built. You can have it. Just bring me my mom and don't hurt her."
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't trust Oz. He's never gonna hold his end.
Obviously, yeah. You go there, you die.
Yeah. So then it flips to Julian working on Francis with his like hypno machine.
The red light.
Yeah. Which is basically like hypnosis. It's like waving a medallion or whatever. And it's scary. I'm like, oh no, what new secrets do we not know? Put them when Sophia.
And at this moment, we don't know that Francis knows Oz killed her sons. We don't know this yet.
We don't know this yet. We just know that Oz killed the kids, killed his brothers, and that's it.
Yeah.
Sophia stops Julian and says that Francis was right. Because when they were arguing, Francis says, "You're just like all of them. Like you're just like your father. You're just like everyone."
Yeah.
And this is when Sophia realized she's right. She's like, I'm like all of them. She's not different. Her dad wanted her to take over before she put her into the institution.
Mm-hmm.
And now that she came out, she walked right into another institution.
Yeah.
So she's still playing the game by her father's rules, you know?
Yeah.
And then she starts having like an anxiety attack. And Julian calms her down and says, well, what do you want? And she's like, I want to be free.
Yeah.
So then it turns to Oz being in the underground again, and Sophia's G-Wagon starts coming through.
Slowly down the tunnel.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, actually, I think one of the henchmen says that Sophia's G-Wagon's on the way. And then
over the radio.
right.
Yeah.
And then it starts coming down, and it was coming too slow. I'm like, this is a setup.
Yeah, and Oz is like, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
And then,
So then
he gets a call, right?
Yeah. So Sophia calls Oz to distract him as the driver stops. And then she's like chatting with him, trying to like kill time to, we find out why she's trying to kill time. And then the driver pulls up more into the lab and then fucking beelines it out of there.
He bolts, dude.
Dips, bro.
He opens the door and is just like.
And Oz is like, yo, what the fuck? He's like, what? Oz is like so totally thrown off.
Yeah.
Turns out Sophia's not even in the fucking truck.
Which, I'm sorry. Oz being Oz.
He should have smelled that out mile
How
away.
do you think Sophia's going down there by herself, dude? How do you even see that? Like, what was going through your mind? I think he's so distracted by his mom, just getting his mom back. He's not even thinking about the long game or like what that person is really up to. But yeah. So then she's telling him, have you found it yet? And this and that, I left you a present, right? Is what she said?
Right. And he goes to the back of the truck.
Dude, the way that this was shot, this dramatic, like, slow walk lead up to the trunk, it was done this way on purpose because we all thought, and Penguin thought, his mom was going to be
under
in the back.
bags. Under the
blanket, yeah.
Yeah.
We all thought it was going to be his mom. I 100% thought
He
it was his
terrified.
mom. Yeah.
He's like,
he was scared to like
to open it.
Yeah.
Accepting the fact that it was his mom.
100%. Like I fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. I was like, that's his mom. His mom's dead.
And it turns out to be a fucking bomb, dude.
20 seconds on the clock, and he's just looking at it, and I'm just like, dude, get the fuck out of there. What are you doing?
Fucking run.
Yeah. And then what's fucked up, dude? He just leaves. Penguin's just like, oh shit, I gotta go. And then
like,
rest of the guys are there chilling.
They're like, hey, what's going on, Oz?
Yeah, then one of the guys just comes around the truck, looks at the timer, boom.
He's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Boom. Blows up.
And dude, there was some fucking good amount of C4 in that shit. It
Absolutely.
created a crater.
A crater, dude.
But Oz fucking went through that tunnel. Where does he go? Where he fucking trapped his brothers. Smart as fuck. Because that's separate. That's a lower level underneath. And like, yeah, it still affected it, but it protected him from the blast. And I was like, fuck, dude, that's smart. And dude, did you see that drop down? Where he fell straight down the shaft? Swear to God, it looked like Batman.
Oh,
it looked like how Batman just drops down.
Yeah.
I was like, look at this fucking guy. That was totally a Batman shot. I was like, what the hell, dude? And
I didn't get that
totally
now,
like 90s Batman drop.
Yeah.
Like Michael Keaton's.
Yep.
But yeah, so smart on his part. He, of course, like cockroach, it's very hard to kill this guy.
Yeah. So, and then it flashes back after the whole explosion. We don't know what happens yet. And it flashes back to Oz as a kid serving his mom dinner. And then this is when she comes out of the room in that dress. And
as a younger her.
Yeah. And notice who's wearing that dress at the end of the series.
Oh, we're getting there.
Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah, we're getting there.
Okay, cool.
And I have so much to say about that.
Dude, that's creepy. It was a creepy scene.
There's levels to it, but go ahead. Yeah.
So Francis tells Oz, to get dressed. Go put your suit on. And he smiles.
We're going out, yeah.
Yeah, so they go out. She tells Oz that she can't do this alone. And they're like dancing on a dance floor. And he's like, that he needs to promise that he will make something of himself. And like she like burdens him with her happiness, and he's like,
oh yeah, she's like, I deserve to be happy. I deserve to, all right, this and that. Yeah.
And then Oz, responds in the same kind and fashion, and promises that he will not quit until he does.
Yeah.
And this is really where the monster was born,
100%.
and where they kept feeding each other the lies of what they wanted to hear to make each other happy.
Oh, I got something about that. Yeah, when we go to the next episode,
yes.
dude. Yeah, I got something about
what
that. What
Sophia says in the oh my god, bro. So then Oz gets up after that. After he confesses and promises his mom that he's never gonna quit until he does, and gets her that penthouse suite and all that fun shit. Oz gets up from the explosion and goes back to present time, and his ears are still ringing, and you can hear it like that ringing noise. Still in the background. High pitch, and as he walks past the rubble,
he climbs out, right?
Right, climbs out of it. He's walking through the rubble, and then his ears pop, and then all the sirens in panic just fucking stretch, like it just stretches loudly through the whole I had to lower my radio. My volume.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't hear anything. I was like, what the fuck's going on? And I put it up. And then I was like, ah shit.
You're like, too loud. Yeah. But yeah, so he's making his way through the rubble, and then
he sees somebody that looks like Vic, and he's like, Vic, and then it's not. And then he keeps walking, and then Detective Marcus approaches him, and he fucking billy clubs him in the fucking face.
He goes, hey Oz. Pow!
Just fucking whacks his ass.
Yeah.
And then the episode ends.
Yes.
It's good, dude. Shit, what is happening?
Nice cliffhanger. All right, now on to episode 8, Great or Little Thing. And now this is the finale episode of the season. And I gotta say right off the top, this is the most intense episode of the season. For me, anyway. A lot happens, and shit goes down, dude.
Yeah.
Shit goes down. So let's get right into it. So truths are laid bare as Oswald Cobblepot nears the end of his journey, and his power struggle with Sophia comes to a head. And man, does it.
Cobblepot?
Yeah, that's his name. Oswald Cobblepot. Oz Cobb is like just short name for it.
I thought his last name was Cobb. Francis Cobb, Oz Cobb.
It's Cobblepot.
I did not know his last name was
Look
Cobb.
it up.
That's cool.
I swear it. If I'm wrong, I'm shocked, but
I didn't know that.
Look it up. Look it up. It's Cobblepot.
I'm not denying.
No. But I want you just to verify that it is Cobblepot. Because I'm pretty sure that was how it was in Gotham and everything.
I didn't know that.
His full name is Oswald Cobblepot, and he just goes by Cobb. That's why he's looking that up. An interesting thing about the title of this episode, Great or Little Thing. Colin Farrell, who plays Penguin, sent Lauren LaFranc, who is the creator and showrunner of this show, The Ballad of Reading Gale by Oscar Wilde. And in it, one of the quotes that she noticed was a great or little thing. And it's about how each man destroys the thing he loves. Which is truer than anything you'll ever hear.
Yeah.
And that, her reading that and the meaning of that is why she's like, she thought that it would be an apt title for the final, given what happens in this episode. So I thought it was a cool little fact there, which was some meaning behind the title of the episode. Did you find it?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Cobblepot, yeah, dude. That's a name, an interesting name.
That's hard to ever forget now.
Yeah, that's why it always stuck with me. So the top of episode 8 is Francis's entree, dude. So this is where we get her backstory, and we see the part of her story that we just saw in episode 7 of a young Oz.
Right.
We see her side of it,
her perspective.
Yeah. So starts off. She's, laying down. It's kind of like hazy and blurry and stuff like that. Comes to, she's like getting up off the bed, right? And now we're at the point where she knows her kids are dead, and she's just in a depressed state. And then she goes out, and Rex is there, right? And they're having this whole conversation, like he's sitting her down, and then she tells him, Oz killed my kids. And then she goes, and he's like, what? He goes, what are you talking about? And then she goes, I found this in his coat, and she puts down the big yellow flashlight.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, he told me they went to a movie that he wasn't with them. And she knows that whenever they have those flashlights that they're playing flashlight tag.
Mm-hmm.
And probably where they're playing it. So she knows, she goes, he lied to me. He knew that they were trapped and he did nothing about it. So that's when she fucking says it out loud that Oz killed his brothers.
Yeah.
And she tells him that. And then, they're talking, and then it gets to the point where Rex tells her there's two things you can do. You can either lean it, or you can take care of it and be done with it, or you can lean into this and you can shape him and like mold him into who you want him to be.
Right.
You can like capitalize on this, basically.
Similar to how the comment I was making earlier about Falcone sending, Carmine Falcone sending Sophia to, and molding her to either be strong enough or not.
Right.
And that's what he says. He's like, guys like him, I can make good use of them, for me. Like they become one of your right-hand men, essentially.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because he points out about loyalty.
Right.
You can't buy loyalty. And the most interesting thing to me that Rex said was, he goes, there's two types of guys. Ones that, what does he say? Ones that need a father?
Mm-hmm.
But what was the other one? The ones that just want power and money, right? He's like, the ones that want power and money, they come and go. They're real easy to like take in or to control or whatever. He's like, but the ones that want father, he goes, I can do that. He goes, I can take them and gain their loyalty and stuff like that and show them.
Right.
He goes, but Oz doesn't want a father. He's got you.
Right.
He's like, but she can take that and then sculpt him because he wants that attention and that adoration from his mom.
Admiration,
so she can use that as a kind of like fueling or a way to like
to dangle the carrot in front of the horse.
That's what it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So he goes. So that's what else he goes. That's the other thing you can do. He goes, what do you want to do? And then
she says to take him out.
Yeah, she says. Yeah, her first action was get rid of him. He killed my kids. Can't have him around.
So now we find out why they're really in the jazz club.
Yeah, so that's the real reason that she asked him to get dressed up, go to the club. They're gonna have this last night together, and then she tells him, she goes, Rex is gonna take you home, and I'm gonna, like do my thing or whatever. And then like we see them celebrating together, and I think this is after they dance, right? They're back at the booth, or this is either before the booth, before they're dancing. I can't remember where it was.
It's not really distinct.
Like when it was, right?
You're right.
But
I think
because Oz sees this as a celebration that his mom is back. She's not depressed anymore. She's up and out. She's back to herself.
I think the dancing does happen first.
Yeah, right.
I think you're right. Because she plants the seed in that you need to take care of me. So when they come back to sit down,
you're right. Yeah, you're right.
This is when he's like, but they don't really establish when it happens.
No, but he does bring up that stuff.
He brings up everything she just told him.
Yeah,
that she wants.
so you're right. So you're right. So because like I said, he sees that as a celebration, and they're sitting there talking. They're looking at the band, and Rex is up by the bar, and we keep getting shots of him because like he's looking at like when it's gonna happen. But then, so they're sitting at the booth. Oz and Francis are sitting at the booth, and Oz tells her, I know you miss him, Ma. I miss him too. And then he turns to look at the band. And dude, the face Francis gives is like total shock and like disbelief. Like she's unsettled. Like I can't believe he just said that to me.
Right.
Because mind you, she knows this dude killed his brothers, and now he's talking like that.
I think at that point she kind of questions, did he really? Did he not? Like, how can he just be so chill about saying, I know you miss him too, I miss him too?
Is that how you saw that?
Yeah, I think she contemplated, like,
Okay.
I think that was the first part where, like, she was like, what's going on? Like,
no, I saw that. I was like dead looking at her face, and I saw total like disbelief that he just said that. Like, how the fuck could you say that?
I can get that. Like, how fucking dare you?
Yeah. Like, I
get
cannot
that.
believe you just said that shit. Like, that's what I took from it. But
I get that.
But what you're saying makes a lot of sense too, for her to, because that's her kid.
Yeah.
You know, she's his mom, and like,
And she wants to believe the best.
she wants to, exactly.
Yeah.
So that just makes sense. But and that moment was meant to be a gut punch to Francis. 100%, dude. It was meant to hit that way, and we felt it. You know what I mean? Like, that's how powerful that moment was.
But then again, this is, I think, where the lying for Oz really began. He's like, all right, I got to sell the shit out of this.
Well, not only that, but this is where we see, and this is where Francis sees something's wrong with this kid.
Yeah. This is where she really believes, understands that this kid's a monster.
Yeah, like, dude, like, he's gonna be like a stone cold killer. This dude's stone cold. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. For you to be able to say that to his mom about his brothers, like, that's straight savagery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then throughout his whole life, we know, and from that conversation, you know, she decides not to kill him, right? And we know that Frances shaped Oz. We've seen it in other episodes. We know that she has shaped him into the man that he is now.
Yeah.
But we also see Oz shaped her as well. Yeah. Like, as she's shaping him, he's shaping her also. So they're like,
they fed each other the lies that they needed, that they wanted to hear.
Exactly.
So, you know, I pride myself in my life of, like, and in people that I love. I will always tell you what you need to hear, never what you want. And
that's
they were the total fucking opposite.
From the beginning, I think that's where our friendship, like, I was like, oh no, this is a real one. Like, this is somebody I need to have in my life.
Yeah.
And that's how we were both like that from the jump. We were like, look, dude, whether you like it or not, I'm gonna tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
Right.
If you want,
what a true family friend should do for you. You know?
Right, exactly.
Don't give me the fluff. Don't give me the bullshit.
Exactly.
But that's exactly what they fed each other.
Yeah,
the fluff and the bullshit.
100%, and they both ate it up like crazy.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Yeah. They lived on the shit like crack, dude.
Yeah, seriously. So, so she made a choice, you know, when she chooses to keep him alive. But what she did was she wound up making a deal with the devil.
Basically. With Oz, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's basically what you did. There's, you know what I mean? And there was a darkening of Francis because of Oz as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, him being the way he was definitely had an effect on Francis. For sure.
Yeah.
I would go so far as to say it had to
she
deal with her mental deterioration too.
Oh, absolutely.
Holding in that guilt, holding in, never saying anything, keeping it trapped in. I think it played with her.
Absolutely.
I think it affected her severely.
Yeah.
What were we gonna say?
I don't remember.
Okay. So one thing that Lauren, LeFranc, the showrunner, she did so well was she had this idea of the way that, or she showed us the idea of the way that Oz understands things. It's kind of like what we were talking about before, of like he says things to make them the truth to him.
Yeah.
So she showed us the way that Oz understands the story versus the way that we've come to understand the story. So the way that we saw everything happening from episode to episode,
yeah,
she also showed us how he perceives it.
Fair, yeah.
Which is his own fucking universe, his own way of seeing things. And that ends up being a key aspect to the way, to what Sophia ends up being able to exploit.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, you think this, but this is actually what happened.
Right.
So she's like, oh, okay. Now I figured you out.
Psychological warfare.
Yes, 100%.
And I'm like, this is dope. Sophia's a badass, bro.
Dude, here's where it gets intense, dude. She brings Penguin to that same club that they were fucking at, where him and his mom were, you know, at the booth and dancing and all that shit. they're at the club now, but now it's all run down. Chandeliers fucking hanging off. It looks like it's been through an earthquake, right? So it's not, a club anymore. It's just decimated.
Well, I think it's like that because of the flood.
Yes, yeah, because of what had the events of Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And this, so hats off to every single actor in this scene.
Yeah. Sophia, yes, agreed. Sophia sets the stage, like the where they're at, like in the club, and then she starts with the story.
Oh.
And the story, I was like, really, bitch?
Playing with them.
I think
100% like, hey, look at the puppets.
Yeah.
This is the puppets telling the story. 100%, dude. So she did. So yeah, I'm glad you brought it up. So, here's where like you said, the mental psychological warfare starts.
Yes.
She tells Oz that her and her brother in that greenhouse found a nest, and there was these 2 little birdies in it, and one of the birds pushes another bird out of the nest and kills it.
No. One bird is bigger than the other. First.
Oh right, yeah, one bird.
And
is
then the mom kept feeding the bigger one. So when the mom bird left, the little one pecked the shit out of the little bird. It attacked the big bird, and then knocked him out.
Oh, okay. I missed the pecking part.
Yeah,
okay.
just pecked beat the shit out of the big bird.
Yeah,
and then threw it out.
Yeah, and then the mom comes. She says, then the mom comes back, and you know what the mom does?
Nothing.
She goes. She just feeds the little bird, and when she says that, she looks right at his mom, and she's right next. She's behind her mom, right? Like right at her mom.
I think so. Yeah.
She's like, yeah. Basically, just telling the Oz story and a bird and with birds.
With this other metaphor.
Yeah. It's like total like just.
And Oz is like, where the fuck are you going with this?
Yeah, 100%.
He's
bound. So he's bound to a chair, rag in his mouth. Never understood that.
Spit it out.
Yeah. Anything in my mouth, if it's not sealed, I'm, or at the very least, pull it out. You know what I mean? So stupid. Anyway,
I think he's a little too fat to do that. He can't pull it out.
But he can lean like that.
I don't think his fat ass ain't doing that.
Fair enough. All right. Either way, he could definitely push that shit out with his tongue.
Agreed. 1,000%.
So stupid. Anyway,
unless they shove it down far enough where they, like, you can't with your tongue.
Then you're gagged.
Yeah.
But no, dude.
You just breathe through your
strapped in
nose.
or covered, taped over. I always saw that as being the dumbest shit in movies.
I agree though.
Anyway, so yeah. So then she tells the story, and then is he able to talk yet?
She rips it out of his mouth.
She rips it out of his mouth, right? And then he's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Yeah. And then he goes, "That's so fucking stupid." And then he goes, "You're right. That was a stupid story." And then she's like, "Okay, you're right." And then she's like, she proceeds to tell him, why basically she was telling that story. She tells Oz, "Tell us what happened." Right? Yeah. Here's where she just fucking digs into Oz.
She goes, "Tell us why you left your brothers in those tunnels."
Yeah, to die in those tunnels. And Oz keeps playing dumb. He's like, "What the hell are you talking about?" He's like, "I have no idea what you're talking about." And then she asks him, she goes, "Why did you tell your mom you weren't with them?" She goes, "Why did you lie to her?" And then he keeps denying it.
Yeah.
Knowing, and then after he denies knowing again, she tells him, she goes, "Stop pretending." Here's where she cuts the shit. Yeah. She's like, "Stop pretending." She goes, "She knows. I know." She goes, "We all fucking know. We all know what you did."
Everybody knows, yeah.
And dude, did you see Penguin's face?
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh shit." Like he got that face of like when you're caught.
Yeah.
He's like,
yeah.
"Oh
I've seen my kids make that face, yeah.
Yes. Multiple times. Fucking you made that face too. Oh shit, you got me. You know what I mean? Like, and then Oz says, you after he says it to, or she's at the mom, he's like,
you did something.
Yeah, you've done something to her. He goes, Sophia says, you act like you tell her everything, and she acts like she believes you. Why?
Yes.
And then she asks, why are you both so afraid of the truth?
It's so sick.
So sick.
Yeah.
And then she goes, almost as sick as What is? I can't see that. Almost as sick as you asking that man to kill your son.
Oh my God.
And then again, Oz is like, here is more of a shock face. Oz is like, what the fuck?
What are you talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, like what? Because Oz knows nothing about this.
No.
Yeah.
And the guy that he loved and revered and
had on a pedestal, dude,
was
looked up to, and like was his idol. Was the dude that was supposed to kill him, dude. This is some next level mafia shit. Like, dude, like that's crazy.
I think this is when he realizes that I can't fuck with this low level crime shit. This is where he realizes I need to do.
Do you think this is where the seed of like, oh, weakness, people around you are weaknesses?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then Oz is confused, but then by that, and then Sophia says Rex was his name, and Oz asks, what kind of weird games are you trying to play? Right? And then Sophia antagonizes Frances. Right? She gets all in her face, and she tries to get her to tell him if she wishes she would have let Rex take him for that ride, meaning kill him, right? She asks, what did you lose by keeping him alive? And then she's like, because I'll tell you if I know what I fucking lost.
Yeah.
I mean, her brother and all that shit, right? And she keeps pushing her to say it, and then Frances spits in her face. And this was probably one of my favorite moments of the episode.
Really?
For this reason. When she spits in his face, Oz is like, yeah. And then Oz is basically like, yeah, that's right, take that, Sophia. Like, I bet, like, that's literally what was probably going in his head. Like, he so wanted to say that. That was just the funniest part for me. It makes me laugh every fucking time. Because I swear, his little, yeah, was basically, that's what he was saying. He was like, take that, Sophia. Like, my mom's good, fucking ride or die for me.
Right.
But that was just a funny little moment that I really liked.
The case, though.
It was far from it, dude. But it was in my world, that's what happened. There's a deleted scene of him probably fucking saying that shit.
Yeah, right.
So then Sophia's like, fine. She asks Julian to cut her free because she's zip tied, right? Behind the chair. Cut her free, and then he grabs a cigar clipper. The ones where you cut the end of it so you can smoke it.
The cigar cutter.
Cigar cutter, yeah. Clipper cutter, yeah. So
Clipper
then,
cutter, same thing, yeah.
So then he gives it to Sophia, and then she asks Penguin, she goes, was it my brother's right pinky or left pinky that you cut off? And then he's like, don't you dare fucking her, don't you touch her. And then she throws it back to Julian. She goes, it was his right hand. So then she grabs Frances's right hand, puts it on the table, puts the cigar cutter over her pinky all the way down, and then just starts slowly squeezing. Yeah. Julian starts slowly squeezing, which this dude is down for Sophia. She says jump, he says how high.
Seriously.
So he's doing it, right?
It almost flips like the Joker and Harley roll.
That's what I said. Yeah. 100%. But now the patient is the puppet master, or the patient is the master, and the doctor is the subordinate, or like So so then he's slowly squeezing it, and she's screaming, ah! And then Sophia tells him, she goes, this is payback for Penguin chopping up, or like he has Julian do that as payback for what he did to her brother, right? Yeah, right. For sure. So then Sophia says, just because somebody knows something doesn't mean they don't need to hear it from the person that hurt them.
Yeah.
Which is fucking so true, dude.
Yeah.
You could know something all day long, but hearing it will give you that relief and that closure. 100%.
Well, I don't know, but it'll just help you come to terms with what the reality is.
That's what I mean by closure.
I don't believe in the term closure.
Huh?
No, I just think closure is I think it's a term created like the spark in a relationship. Like, oh, we lost our spark. There's just fake terms that I think people create to cope with what's going on.
Okay.
But I don't think closure is a real thing, because I don't think closure's ever really done anything for me.
Well, I think people use it as a way to like mark, okay, I'm done with this. I'm moving on now. Yeah, that's how I see it.
I agree.
They call it closure, whether it is an actual thing that you could just be like, oh, this is closure. Yeah. You know, it's probably different for everybody too.
Yeah,
maybe you haven't really felt that or gotten that from whatever situation that you needed
Yeah.
it from. Maybe that's why you're like, I don't think that that's real. Maybe you haven't experienced it
Because
yet.
I've gotten like the answers that I needed.
Yeah, and things settled. Yeah,
Right.
but not maybe what you needed. Like she said, what you needed that certain person to say that you already know, but you needed them to say it to you. I feel like that's what closure is that you getting that person.
Right, but like I've had someone apologize to me for something horrible they've done to me.
But that's an apology. That's not. Oh no,
But it's
yeah,
closure.
that could be closure. Yeah,
But
yeah.
it meant nothing to me.
Well, that's on your end though. But if you ask them, that was the closure that they probably needed.
So you think closure usually comes from the guilty end?
Yes, 100%. Yeah,
Okay.
the guilty or the hurt, the person that was hurt. It could go either way.
I guess
Whoever needs that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To be able to move on is
Okay.
how I see it.
And for me, I feel like closure was. I gotta choose
Do you
my words
maybe
wisely.
have like a romanticized version of closure that's like maybe theatric, like maybe like how they use it in theatrics that you're like, well, that doesn't happen in real life.
Oh, no. I don't mean it like that. Like,
Okay.
It's not this fantasy of like closure. Like, well, I guess, yeah. Like closure for me, like.
It never happens the way it happens in movies.
Agreed.
Yeah, yeah.
Agreed. It's not this big blown up thing. But even with that, like, people that can be like, I don't know. For me, just closure doesn't mean much to me. Like, if you just said it with your chest from the beginning and meant it, if you're being a dick, then be a dick. And I'll accept you for being a dick.
Yeah, I think that's because you and I have the mindset of like, just keep it real from the jump. That's it.
Right.
We don't need to get to this point. We will never need closure because we'll always have everything up front.
Right.
From the beginning.
And when you fuck up, either admit, hey, I fucked up.
Yeah.
And I apologize.
So I think that's probably why closure doesn't mean shit to you, because it's like, well, this is what
we're here because you fucked up. Yeah, this is your fault, stupid.
You could have saved all. Yeah, you could have saved all of this from the beginning.
Right.
So that's probably why.
That's why closure doesn't mean too much to me.
I think so.
Actually,
yeah.
that makes total sense.
Yeah. So she has this very intense, basically group therapy session, right, with everybody in the room, to try to get Oz to admit to his mom directly what he did to his brothers. Right?
Yeah.
That's what this whole thing was about.
All of this.
Because she's trying to break up Oz and his mom.
Yeah.
That bond.
Well, she's trying to break down Oz.
Yeah, right. That's better. Put,
to make Oz just
nothing.
Because he's almost impenetrable
Yeah.
when it comes to this emotional toughness that he has.
Because like Sal said, he's got nobody. And then they didn't know that he still had his mom. So now she's trying to break that to back to where he has nobody. Because if he admits that to his mom, that's it. His mom is done with him.
I think he'll crumble.
Yeah. And that's what she wants. That's what she's trying to get out of this whole thing.
It's just tale old as time of like to live in these lies and how fragile you can become as a human being to live
and the
lie to lie in this what's the word I'm looking for? Like,
well, it's like the mess you make from the lies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just becomes this web of lies that you're engulfed in. You can't walk through it.
Yeah.
And you're stuck there and you have to commit to it. But it feels like you're walking on sand because the floor is just so uneven under you.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And I don't know. It's a pretty
no. That's really well put. Yeah,
it's a really intense scene that's happening right now, and it just goes to show like how. I mean, I like exactly with what you said. Like, you know, the whole me not believing in closure part. Like, it just doesn't. It hits me different because I'm like, how can you lie that much?
Yeah.
How can you become so sadistic? So
a lot of people use like that closure part as like, all right, we put that to bed. Now let's move on from it. But you're like, we never had to go through this.
Right.
Yeah.
All of this should have been avoided.
For
and it's
sure.
like the people that can lie like that. Like there's people in my life that are like that. I'm just like, how do you live your life like that day in and day out?
How does this come so easy to you? Yeah.
Like it's just, if I feel so, I don't know. I don't know. It's shitty to see. And
100%.
Sophia is tearing up Oz. And I think when we get to the end, I'll shed more light on this. I'll wait.
So
go ahead.
So Sophia tells him, he's like, just tell her. I know she she's like, we all know, you know. And then look was just pure shock. So first Oz tries playing it off by telling his mom, you know, it's your disease taking it's your disease talking, ma. And then his mom replies, I hate you. And here's where it starts to
she says fuck you and then I hate you.
I didn't hear the fuck you. I only heard I hate you.
Because she was pissed that he blamed the disease. She was pissed.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right.
Fuck you.
Yeah, I didn't catch that. She's like, I hate you. I hate you for what you did. I never stopped hating you.
Oh my God.
The one person he looks up to, he adores, just said, I'd never stopped hating you.
That's crazy.
That's crumbling, dude. I would be done. So they untie her, and she walks up to Oz, who's still tied up, and tells him right in his face, I should have let Rex kill you when I had the chance.
Emotional damage.
Dude, it was tough.
Shit, dude.
Then she smacks him, right?
No. She
breaks the bottle.
She turns around, grabs the bottle, breaks it, comes back and fucking stabs him right in the gut.
Good thing he's fat, because that's the only thing that kept him alive.
Seriously, 100%. There's layers protecting him. It's like having
body armor, essentially.
Body armor getting shot. Yeah. Sometimes a bullet might poke through, but you have a cracked rib or something. But it went through layers of fat, and he was fine. Or like, you know, he was fucked, but he was able to live. It wasn't the kill blow. So Oz and his mom saying what they said to each other is like the ultimate unmasking. And that was what the actress who played Sophia had said. Christine Malati or something like that? Something like that.
Sounds about right.
Kristen. But so she had said that in one of her interviews of Inside Gotham. It's after the show. It's like this is special features, the showrunner and a bunch of people, actors talking about, you know, the scenes, stuff like that. So she said that it was like this ultimate unmasking because they literally just fucking put everything on the table. Yeah, this is what it is.
You can't hide now.
Yeah,
there's no hiding. We know who you are.
Exactly,
we know you're a fucking monster.
And then Francis tells Oz, "You're the goddamn devil." And then, I think she said that. Then she breaks the glass and stabs him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, after that happens, she looks past Oz, and she sees her oldest and her youngest dripping wet, just standing there looking at her.
And I think this was her.
This is the stroke.
Yeah.
This is the stroke starting.
And I think this is her.
Or no, she sees that, and I think that's what starts the stroke.
You think so?
That shock.
I think the stroke is what made her see that.
No, I think that's her disease. So, because remember, she always sees things that's not there. So her seeing that shock, because if you notice, when she sees it, she starts like, she's my boys or whatever, and then they start going blurry they start going translucent. Like you start seeing through them, and then they disappear, and then that's when everything gets blurry,
and she falls.
And then she falls, boom, flat on the floor, and then Oz fucking hulks out and just goes like, he's like, and he breaks, or he falls over. No, he breaks the arm off, falls over, and then he grabs, I think, a piece of the chair that broke, or just a piece of sharp wood. Yeah, and the guy
it's the arm. It's the armrest.
Yeah, right. The part of the arm, right? Yeah. So he grabs that piece that broke off.
Stabs one henchman.
The guy that comes to get him, he stabs him, takes his gun, starts fucking lighting up the guys,
using him as body armor, and starts.
Just holding him straight up, cap shield, shooting them. He takes out some of the guys, and then Julian grabs Sophia, and they go behind like a piano, and then they're just exchanging gunfire. And then Oz goes, picks up his mom, just fireman carries her, boom, still stabbed like a motherfucker in his gut, and hightails it out of there. Gets outside of the club. Sees the guy putting in eye drops.
Marcus?
Is that who that fucking was? That was
Marcus?
The detective, right?
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay. I thought that he looked familiar. Okay.
Dude, just fucking
he was putting
shoots him in the eyeball.
Dude's like this.
Shoots the eyeball he was putting drops in.
Dead. Takes his car, leaves. Sophia comes out, shoots at him, but then he gets away. I forgot to mention Sophia in this little black dress with the red scarf that's part of the dress.
Oh yeah,
dude.
it comes from the left chest.
Yeah,
And
from
then-
the left like breast.
Yeah,
and
and then-
it's like a spaghetti top
Yeah.
dress. It's a little black dress. Damn, I would fight Batman for Sophia wearing that dress because goddamn, like I see it. It was funny too because watching it with the wife, of course, and we're watching it, and I see Sophia in that dress, and I'm just like, and then she punches me right in the arm. She's like, bye. She gives me a good one too. I was like, oh fuck. I was like, all right, I deserve that. I deserve that. But I'm like, hey, imagine your cutie fucking shirt off, back muscles just ripped. Like
Yeah.
you'd give a look too. But anyway, yeah, I had to shout out that dress because she's worn some phenomenal dresses this season.
She's very well dressed.
That was cream of the crop for me.
I think the
That did it
yellow
for me.
thing when she wore at the table was.
That was nice, but this one was more on the like sexy side for me.
I like the yellow
was
one. I
less
would
of a
like to see
dress, maybe?
Sandy in that one. It was less of a dress than that.
So maybe it was more on the like scandalous side. Of
It was
the
very
dress.
scandalous.
But anyway, so yeah, so then he takes his mom to a hospital. Or no, it cuts to Vic, and Vic is in the car, and then they get to where traffic just stopped, and they get out, and they see just the smoke coming, and he realizes he goes,
Oh yeah,
he's
he
like,
comes with all
Oz.
the henchmen.
Yeah, he's like Oz, and he's got all those like families
Yeah.
that he's assembled
The
the
Dilo.
army.
Yeah, Zhao, Danny Boy,
Yeah,
and I forgot who else.
and then
That one biker chick.
Yeah, and then he goes to the front. He goes, we gotta go get Oz. We gotta. They're like, no, stop. And then they stop him, and then the rest of the people, they're like, they just go to leave. And he's like, he goes, where are you going? He's like, come on. He goes, you're just gonna let them do whatever the hell that they want. Look what they've done. And then he's like, you guys are a fucking bunch of cowards. Vic is saying this.
Yes.
And then is it Zhao? Or,
Zhao, yeah.
No,
Zeke.
Zeke comes up, punches him straight in the stomach. He's like,
You
you
gotta
gotta
know your place.
watch what you say and learn your place.
Yeah.
He's like, you're gonna get fucking killed.
Yeah. He's like,
And then
you're
they-
gonna end up with a bullet in you.
Yeah.
And then you're not gonna matter.
Yeah. So then they all leave, right?
Essentially saying like you're right, but no, you're fucking slow your roll, bro.
No, like watch how you say shit and who you
You're
say
not
it to.
wrong.
Yeah.
But shut the fuck up, bro.
Yeah, right now at the time, my guy.
No.
So then what? Then it goes to Penguin taking his mom to the hospital.
Yeah.
They get her admitted, and then he takes a phone that's at the like counter, the nurse's station. Takes the phone,
Calls Vic.
goes into a room, calls Vic, and then Vic, makes his way to the hospital. But then Penguin
Finds a stapler.
finds a stapler. He's patching himself up, and then Vic comes in and then helps him bandage himself.
And Vic gives this speech about like
Really nice piece. So he tells Penguin, and he's like, we got to get they all left. He's like, but you still got your guys, and they're, he says who was there, who was still alive from
Right.
his guys, and then he's like, we got them, we got to do it. And then Penguin's like, he goes, stop. He's like, this is what happens. He's like,
Yeah.
it is what it is. And what does Vic say? He goes like, you're wrong. He's like,
you
What?
put the lights back on.
yeah,
You gave people purpose and hope. He's like, you did that. And he's like, these people respect you. And
he's like, you looked out for Crown Point. You
Right.
take care of those people.
not these other people. They didn't do that.
Yeah. And
And-
then I was just like, how long you practice that? And then he's like, shut up, man. And then he's like, no. He's like, it was good. It was good. And then he's like, all right. He goes, let's go. So then they leave. And then, it cuts to them at the courthouse, right?
Yeah.
And then
He goes in.
He gets out. He's like, how do I look? He goes, you're good. He goes, you're not bleeding or anything. He's like, you're good. He goes, all right, into the lines then. So he goes into the courtroom, and he's in the courtroom, and then the congressman that he made turn the lights back on,
Yeah, then he blackmailed.
that he blackmailed, goes into the court, and then he tells him everything that happened with a twist.
With the little water down.
His version.
Yes.
Everything that he did, he says Sophia did. And then he basically swapped out Maroni and Sophia with him and Maroni and Sophia. So he says, Sophia blew that hole up. Him and they were feuding. That war is still going. He goes, just like always.
Yeah, when you go in that hole, you're gonna find pieces of Sophia's G-Wagon and Sal's body.
Yeah, playing it perfectly, and it makes fucking sense.
Total sense.
Crazily that it makes sense.
Yeah.
To where outside of that, you would think, oh shit, this is lining up. The evidence is there. This is how it happened.
And he pitches it to the congressman, saying like, "You're gonna take the claim for this. You are gonna be the reason that the Falcones and the Maronis fell down, or the Falcones, sorry, and
their knight in shining armor, right? Like their savior. Like it's gonna be you." And then he's like, "And what do you get?" And then he's like, I want to be in this room.
It'd be nice to be appreciated, or no, it'd be nice to
be in the same room with them, and
basically putting at which within the comics he always has like a political pool.
Mm-hmm.
He runs for in the Michael Keaton one. He's like running for something.
Yeah. For mayor.
Right.
So basically saying, I'm just gonna cash in a favor later.
Yeah.
I'm putting a favor in the books with you. Because we'll deal with that when it gets to it.
Right.
But for now, you take the glory. You take everything. You take them down, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So he agrees. And then we cut back to Sophia has the penguins, those families, come to Sophia's house.
Mm-hmm.
And Sophia's eating olives and drinking alcohol.
Yeah, she's drinking fucking straight
vodka, right, bro?
Gin.
Oh, gin? Okay.
It's gin, yeah.
With olives. And just eating olives straight out the jar. And then she tells them, do you guys want this? Basically saying, do you want this house, the power, everything? Do you want it all? She goes, I'm leaving.
Well, at first they're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I think Zhao was like,
he goes,
what?
we're not clear on what it is you're offering. Yeah. And then she's like
all of it.
Yeah, I'm giving you all of it. He goes, whoever brings me Oz gets it all. And then that's when, was it Link or what's his name?
Yeah.
Zeke is like, nah. He goes, this ain't real. He's like, why would you give all this up? And then she tells him, she goes, I'm leaving. I'm making my starting a new life or whatever. She goes, I'm leaving all this in the past, or behind.
And that was my first eyebrow raise to like, why the fuck is Zeke talking? He knows he shouldn't be talking out of place. Everyone at the table are the people that Sophia's talking to,
mm-hmm.
and he's standing as the second in command.
Yeah.
Why is he opening his mouth now?
Really?
That's what I was like.
You clocked it then?
I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then he calls. He ends up calling fucking.
So she says, whoever brings me Oz gets it all. So then they all leave. And then Zeke calls
Victor,
and he's like, hey, he goes,
you with Oz?
Yeah, are you alone? And he goes, Sophia just put a bounty on Oz.
No, he doesn't say you're alone. He's like, are you with Oz?
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah,
so
he asked if you're with Oz. And
he
Vic is reluctant to answer.
Yeah, and then he says, Sophia just put a bounty on Oz. And she goes, where are you? You're like, tell me where you are. And then it cuts.
Well, he goes, you were right. And we got to do something about it.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah, and then it cuts.
And then, I forget, does it go to...
Because the Congress, it goes back to Oz coming out of the congressman, out of the meeting with the congressman.
Out of the congressman, whoa.
Hello.
That was the second.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay.
Comes out of the courthouse, walks up to the car that they stole.
Yeah.
And it turns out Zeke and his henchmen are right there waiting for him outside of the courthouse.
Right. That's what it is. Because he comes to the car and the car's empty, right? Did you say that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so then he's like, come with us.
Yeah. So I'm assuming Vic is inside the SUV.
He has to be.
Waiting for Oz.
He has to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then...
And which is smart, because they ditched that cop car, because it's the detective's car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they shouldn't be driving around in that.
Right. So then they take him to a hangar. Or no, Zhao calls Sophia and says, I have Penguin. Where would you like... Or would you like me to bring him to you? And then she goes, no, I'm actually leaving. I'm I'm getting ready to leave. I'm packing my things.
Yeah, I'm almost done packing the rest of my things.
Yeah. And then she's like, hangar 5.
Yeah,
Meet me there.
Airport or whatever.
Yeah, so then they
so
go.
Sophia starts emptying out her father's closets and clothes
and
onto
the
bed, pours alcohol over them, lights 3 cigarettes, flicks it on the bed, engulfs in flames. Goes to the desk area, the office, alcohol everywhere.
Second cigarette,
throws it at the painting of the family, burns the bitch down. And then
basically goes to each room and sets it on fire. Yeah. Which I'm like, this makes sense. She's not really leaving it to him. That was just the carrot she was dangling.
Absolutely.
To get them to get Oz. So she lights it on fire. Then they leave. They go to the hangar. So then we see Penguin being brought to the hangar. Mm-hmm. And Penguin... Oh, no, sorry. We see Sophia arriving at the hangar. Penguin standing there. Zhao's in front. And all the other guys are behind. Vic is next to Penguin. Mm-hmm. And then Zhao and Sophia start talking. And then he's like, you know...
What are you going to do with him? Are you going to kill him here? Or are you going to drop him over to Atlantic?
Yeah. And then...
She laughs.
She's laughs.
Like, because he goes to see if the penguin can really fly.
Yeah, to see if he could fly. Yeah, that was funny.
And she laughs.
Yeah. And then, what does she say? Do they still exchange words, or is that when this guy Link?
No, well, Oz smiles and smirks.
Oh yeah, she looks at Oz, and Oz looks at her, and then he just gives that little smirk, and then she gets a face like, "What the fuck?
Oh shit, this is a setup."
Yeah, she's like, "What the fuck? Why are you smirking?"
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Oh shit, yeah."
And
then
everyone
Link takes out a gun, shoots Zhao, bam, point blank range. Everybody else, they all take out her men.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. And then even Penguin gets a gun, shoots, and then she goes to reach in her pocket, and then
Vic walks up.
He goes, no. He's like, give me a gun. And then they, disarm her, and then Penguin's like,
we're going to go for a ride.
And then he's in the front seat, she's in the back seat, and he's driving her. And then it was funny because my wife was like, "Oh, look, it's just like old times." And then
he says it.
Then he actually says, "Just like old times, huh?" Yeah. And then we're like, "What the fuck?" It's so funny. And then Sophia's like, she's in the back seat, and then she slowly tries to open the door, and it's Zhao locked, obviously. Yeah. And it's like, "Come on, really? Did you think he was just gonna leave the door open? Yeah. Come on now." And then he's talking to her, and she's like, they're just exchanging words, and he's saying, you were trying to get rid of me, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. What they say is not of importance.
Well, it kind of is. Because,
but...
Well, the whole point of that conversation was to say, this is Sophia finally realizing what Oz was.
Yeah.
And why Oz still continues to find a way to the top. He's like, you basically what she underestimated is that how hungry the second in command, third command, all these lower level crime people are, how hungry they are and tired they are of being overlooked.
Yes. And then as that he's saying that, we're getting cuts to those families and the second in command's taking out the leaders.
Correct.
The biker chick's beating the one with the helmet. Yeah. The one dude strangles the other guy.
Danny Boy gets strangled, yeah.
While he's boxing, he's hitting the punching bag. They're all getting taken out.
Yeah, somebody is like in a spa area, and he gets like his throat sliced, and he's like,
"Oh yeah, in a spa, yeah." So they all take all the number twos, take out the number one, the heads, the heads of the gangs, and
he just basically is saying she underestimated how hungry the people that came from nothing are.
Yeah.
So she's different because she's always had a full plate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She was always worried about what she wanted to worry about. Because they had everything. They never came from nothing. And she'll never understand that. And that was the big thing. That's why Penguin becomes so powerful, because he comes from nothing.
Yeah, he went through that struggle. Yeah. So he could appreciate the power.
Empires of generations of people that had money on top of money.
Well, not only that, but he saw them. He saw the inner workings, and he saw how they were doing what they did, and
but he saw the flaws of that.
Right, that's what I was getting to. He saw how they were not appreciating the people putting them in power and keeping them in power and supplying them and everything. So then They pull up to the bridge,
Yeah.
you know, that iconic bridge, and then he takes her out of the car. He has her walk towards the water, and then they exchange, you know, more words, and he's like, he says something to where, like, you know, it's basically his time, and then she's like, I forget the actual exchange here, but she's like, so are you going to kill me and, you know, and take over?
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, turn around. And then he holds the gun to the back of her head. And then it's a really great shot of just the side of Sophia's face. And then she's just like looking. As she closes her eyes and kind of looks up. And then you see a bright light, like a helicopter light, shine on her. And then you hear sirens. And then she opens her eyes, she turns around, and
Oz is gone.
Oz is gone. Cop cars are just coming straight to her, and it's the chief of police, and he goes to her, and you know, you're under arrest, blah blah blah. He takes her, you know, arrests her, puts her back in Arkham, and she always knew she was gonna end up there, and that's why. The showrunner always knew that Sophia was going to end up back in Arkham. That's how she wanted her story to go. Was that she was going to end up back in Arkham? That was always her endgame with Sophia, which is cool. I didn't see, because I didn't see that coming. I didn't think this part. Did you think he was going to kill her?
I thought he was going to kill her.
I didn't. I'm like, no, he's going to leave her there, and because he wants her to see what he's going to become, because he wants to show her. Yeah. Because he wants to show her what he can do, and what he wants somebody that saw him when he was nothing and sees the end result of him taking over the city.
Yeah. I saw it. And when he went to go talk to the congressman and try to get into the political world, I saw it and I was like, he's going to kill everybody.
Oh,
he's gonna kill everyone. Excuse me. He's gonna kill everybody to eliminate any ties that he has to this criminal underworld, and he's gonna have the respect of all these second in commands that now are in command. So he's gonna be this political power, have all this alliance with all these gangsters and different gangs and whatnot. Yeah. And they're not gonna fuck with him. And he's going to help them continuously. And that was the power that he needed. But I think all the high-level people, he was going to take out. That's what I initially thought.
Yeah.
I think she'll crumble and fall apart more and become... If she comes out, she's going to be even more twisted and sadistic if she comes out of Arkham again. But
yeah, she ain't going to pull punches this time, for sure. Yeah, she's not playing mind games. She's going
I think she'll embrace the moniker of Hangman for sure.
Yeah, dude. Mm-hmm.
So that'd be cool. But I was like, nah, this guy's playing a bigger picture. He's going to have his back covered by the second command taking over everything. He doesn't want any loose ends left.
Okay.
That's where I knew how the ending was going to happen.
So then it cuts to... after they arrest her, it goes to Vic and Penguin chilling by the water.
Yeah.
Drinking some whiskey. Or drinking some liquor.
No. Goes back to the hospital. He sees his mom. Tells his mom.
Oh, that's right. No, they get... Yeah, sorry. Yep.
Before we get to the...
Vic and Penguin go back to them. It's because he wants to celebrate with his mom. He brought her some alcohol.
Yeah.
And he turns on the TV. He goes, look, I did that. That's me. That was all me. And then...
he's so excited.
Yeah, and then he looks at his mom, and his mom's just still stiff. I thought she was dead.
No.
I 100% thought she was dead. I thought she was just stiff. She looked kind of pale too, so I thought she was just stiff. And then he's like, "Ma," he goes, look at me. He goes, "Hey,"
because if she was dead, the machines would have been like beep.
True, and that's what I didn't think of that. But so then he tells Vic, "Hey, go get a doctor," and then. He goes out, and then a nurse comes in. She goes, "Sorry." She goes, "I didn't know how to get a hold of you." He goes, "But your mom suffered a stroke, and she's in a vegetative state."
Yeah, he's like, "What do you mean she's a fucking vegetable?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Go get a real fucking doctor."
Yeah, go get a doctor. And then he rushes her out of the room, and then Oz goes to her. He tries waking her up, and he just breaks down. And he's like, "Come on, tell me you're proud of me. Yeah, I did this all for you.
Just for once, Mom.
Just for
tell me you're proud of me."
Broke my heart.
I was like, oh man. No.
And here we're seeing the Oz, the vulnerable Oz, and what he.
I think this is where
he just wants.
He realizes that he can't have any loose ends.
That having family is a weakness.
It's his biggest weakness.
For sure. So that he realized that. So then we get to him and Vic having a drink by the water, and then Vic tells him, he goes, yeah, I miss my family. He goes, but you're my family now, and then Oz tells him,
he's like, fuck.
Well, no,
Oz goes after. So they're talking, and he's like, "There's no way." He's like, "You did good, kid.
Yeah.
There's no way I would be able to do this without you." And he's like praising Victor and really building him up to be his right hand man. So we look at this part two different ways. When Vic says, "I see you. I miss my family, but you're my family now," and Oz goes, he like, "Fuck, kid."
Yeah.
Like, and he says, "Fuck." He goes, "Fuck, kid," and like he just sees it in disappointment because he's like, "Fuck, I gotta kill this guy now. He loves me like family, and now
you're the only family I have left,
right? Yeah. And you are a weed that I need to get rid of because you make me weak essentially." That's how I took it. So then he starts giving this whole fucking Fugazi story.
So
he puts his arm around Vic.
Right here, when after that happened. When he starts praising Vic and saying, you're this, you're that, you're this and that, then I'm like, he's going to kill Vic. I even said it out loud. I'm like, oh, he's going to kill him. He's going to kill him. And then what does I say? He goes, I'm sorry, but I have to do this. And then he fucking grabs him by the throat.
He's like, I can't take you with me.
Yeah, and then he grabs him by the throat, and then he just he puts him in an arm or a headlock and just continues choking. Vic, rightfully so, is panicking and saying please.
Oh my god,
he's saying please
that
over and
hurt
over.
Me so bad.
This was tough, dude.
When he begged for his life.
This is one of the rougher moments of the show, and I'm like, dude. And he's telling him, he goes, I'm sorry, but I have to do this. He goes, you're a weakness, and I can't have weakness. I can't have any weakness. And
this is the first time I see Oz. Like as he's doing it, like his eyes, like he's fighting back his tears.
Yeah.
He wants 100%. To cry.
He does not want to do this. He's only doing it because he thinks this is what he has to do to get what he needs.
Scene, dude. Jesus Christ,
dude. The performance by both of them, fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Then he takes his wallet after Vic just is dead and he falls down on the ground.
Takes the ID.
Takes the wallet, but he fucking takes his money. Fucking bogus, dude. He robs him.
He does it.
Not only does he kill him, man, he fucking robs him. And then takes his ID out.
Flips the wallet back at him. And walks, and then flips the ID.
Throws the wallet in the water.
No, he throws the wallet back at...
Oh, sorry. He throws the ID is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
The ID in the water. Because you threw me off when you said he flicks the wallet back at him. So I was like, that was the last thing I heard. But anyway. So, yeah. And then we cut to a shot of this badass purple like Rolls Royce. Yeah. And the lights turn off and it's in front of this big ass building and we see Penguin fucking dressed to the nines, dude,
in a full penguin
and I
suit.
fucking called it, dude. Didn't I call it? I said the last episode he's going to be in the tux, so he's in a tux.
Well, it's not a tux,
gold
or
a suit.
It's a penguin tuxedo is what they're called.
Yes. Penguin tuxedo, well, tux. And then the vest and everything's gold, real nice.
It's called a penguin tuxedo, the full word. They don't call them penguin tuxes. There's a tuxedo or a tux, but a penguin tuxedo by definition is the way it's formed. It's the style.
To look like a penguin.
Usually they wear bow ties and they have a vest.
Yeah. And
usually it doesn't close completely. It's meant to be more
coat
open.
That's kind of like the maestro's style.
Right, and it has a long tail like a penguin.
Yeah. So yeah. Any tuxedo I just call tux.
Okay.
So yeah, we see him dressed real nice, and he's holding a fucking top hat.
Yeah.
And he's walking. Only thing missing was a fucking umbrella.
Yeah.
And the other
and
hand.
a monocle.
Well, not monocles. That's old school shit. But anyway,
I think he'll rock it.
Think so? But anyway, so he goes into the building, gets to the penthouse, and it's his place.
Top floor.
Top floor, like he always said.
Walks into this room.
There's a hospital bed. His mom's laying in there facing the window, so she sees the city. Right, real nice Real
So
nice view.
he gave his mom what she said she deserved.
What he promised, a penthouse so where she could see the city.
Which I'm surprised she's alive.
Yeah, dude.
I'm surprised he didn't just kill her.
Well, no, because he keeps her alive because he needs to show her and he needs her to see what he does and what he becomes. He wants her to see him take over the city, and him run the city. She can still see it, everything, and anything he tells her, she hears it. She's in a vegetative state, but she's still conscious. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but she can't comprehend any of that.
No, she can. She can. She's like I said, she's not in a coma. She's in a vegetative state. So that means her brain's still up and alert.
I don't know if that's 100% true. We can look into that later.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he's keeping her alive for a reason, and I think it's to show her what he becomes. And
I also think that's his crutch to stay focused, because you know how we said he has to say things out loud for him to believe it. He goes to her to tell her.
Oh, yeah.
Now he has nobody to tell him back anything else.
Yeah, he needs her alive as fuel for him.
Yeah.
To do everything, yeah. And then he goes out to the living room, and who's there?
His girl.
The Vivian? No.
The one that leads the
prostitute.
She's a prostitute, yeah.
And what is she fucking wearing?
That was creepy, bro.
Dress. The
Has
mom's
the
black
hair?
glitter dress. She's dressed exactly like his mom.
Dude,
Exactly, dude. Exactly. And then they start dancing, right?
Her name's Eve.
Eve is dressed exactly like the mom was when she took him to the jazz club. And she's dressed this way for a reason. And it's not anything like sexualized, like a sexual reason. It's he wanted her to dress like that because that's how his mom, had she not been in that vegetative state, would have been dressed. And that would have been them. Yeah. So she's a surrogate mom now, and he tells her to tell him, tell me that you're proud of me, tell me you're happy, that of what I've done, and that you're proud of me, blah blah blah. And then she says, "This city is yours, and nobody's gonna take it from you." And then we pan out, and we see the city, and then what happens? Boom! Bat signal lights up in the sky, and then end the show. Dude,
what a crazy episode.
So fucking well done, dude.
Yeah, dude.
This is probably one of my favorite Max original shows by far.
I didn't think
It's definitely one of my top Batman projects.
Oh yeah.
For sure for me.
Absolutely. I would think Last of Us was better for me, but
oh yeah, for sure. But I'm saying it's on that level.
It's really good.
It's up there.
It's really fucking good.
For sure. With that said, we got to get a stone ratings from this. So, the Penguin series, how many stones you give it?
5.
5 stones. Really? Okay. I wasn't expecting that high from you. I'll be honest.
I really enjoyed it.
I thought you were going to give me like a 4. But yeah. I am going to agree with you on that, and I'm going to give it 5 stones as well. Everything. Storytelling was great. The character arcs were awesome. Yeah. They're very well told.
Originality, because this has never been done like this.
Yes.
For a villain, at least.
Yeah.
We've had
period. Titans wasn't told this way. Flash wasn't told this way. Arrow wasn't told this way.
Well,
None of the DC shows were told.
But I think they could only do it this way with the darkness.
Oh, for sure.
Because it's a villain.
For sure. Absolutely.
And we got the Loki series, who technically was a villain, but it was more of a redemption of him becoming.
Oh, it was 100% a redemption story.
More of what he should have been.
Yeah.
But he was always in emotional turmoil and wanting the throne and all that bullshit. So this was, it was a revenge. Not a revenge. I'm sorry. It was a redemption story, yeah. Mm-hmm. And versus this one was the coming of the Penguin and why he's the Penguin.
Yeah.
And
the rise to him becoming a Penguin, yeah.
And how he really isn't much. He came from nothing and made himself into this thing.
He's a lot more of a threat than anybody realized. And
that was his best camo.
This story, or this series, told that in the best way.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because Penguin's always been a blow-off character for most people that I know.
He was never a villain Batman took as a serious threat.
Right.
For sure. He was easily beatable.
Do I think he'll ever be... I mean, Batman's greatest villain is always going to be Joker, nonetheless. Yeah. But it's just this just sheds more light on a on why Penguin was even relevant in the Bat universe.
Yeah.
Because
he's definitely more of a threat to Batman than Batman realizes, for sure. And he's definitely got more of a reach in Gotham than any other villain, for sure.
he's essentially DC's version of the Kingpin.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
That's the best comparison. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, let us know what you guys think. What you guys thought of the series. Is it what you expected? Were you pleasantly surprised like us? What didn't you like? Even if you have, nothing's perfect. So let us know what you guys didn't like, and we'll talk about that in a later episode. But we definitely want to hear from you guys. Next thing we have coming up, we might have a fun episode with the film addicts. We got a cool idea that we want to talk about with them. So hopefully that's going to be coming to you guys
it's a little
really
closer
soon.
to his heart.
It was going to be a 100% episode for me, hands down. But yeah, so stay tuned for that. We got some great projects coming up. We're going to be doing Venom 3 soon. We're going to get that to you guys, our review on the movie. If you guys haven't seen that, please go see it. It is not Venom Carnage. It is so much better than that. So much better. So well done. We have Craven coming up next month. We got Red One we might cover. I want to cover that. I think that would be a cool episode to cover for a little holiday.
I'd like to cover Evolution.
Okay, so the Anthony Mackie film Evolution.
Yeah.
We might jump on that for sure. That sounds good. He said it was a really good movie. I definitely want to check it out. But yeah, so stay tuned for those episodes. They're going to be coming to you guys very, very soon. We got the holidays coming up, so we're going to be winding down a little bit. We will bring you guys some of our, Christmas episodes and whatnot. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, let us know what you guys want us to cover. If you guys have something coming up that you guys want us to cover, by all means, hit us up on Instagram or just comment down below and we'll try to get that to you.
The next big property we're going to cover episodically is going to be What If.
Yes, we have What If season 3 coming out. Yeah. That's at the end of December.
We just have a handful of movies coming out this year that we're definitely going to cover.
But it's been a great year so far. We got a lot of good stuff for you guys.
We're going to have a New Year's episode this year for the first time.
Yeah.
Usually it's Christmas focused, but I think our last episode is going to be New Year's this time.
Yeah, for sure. So we're going to get
and then we are finally going to dive into some anime with Dragon Ball.
Yes.
And Dragon Ball Daima.
Yeah.
Daima. Whatever.
Yeah. One of those things.
He's catching up on Dragon Ball Z.
No, Dragon Ball Z Kai is what I'm on.
It's Dragon Ball Z.
Pretty much, yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun. Those episodes are going to be real fun because I know those are close to your heart.
Yeah. And I have Ball. No, not so much Ball. But Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super, memorized. Yeah. I don't think I've ever watched Dragon Ball more than 3 times.
Okay.
I've watched it initially the very first time years ago.
Wow.
Then I did a rewatch when I was a teenager, and then maybe a few.
Where did you first start watching Dragon Ball? On TV?
Toonami?
Okay.
Yeah, Cartoon Network Toonami.
Nice. Okay.
Yep. And then my cousins had a bunch of VHSs. We used to watch them. And then from there, we jumped into DVDs.
Nice.
And I never got into Blu-rays with owning them, but I used to borrow them and we would watch. And
I let you borrow Broly.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I really like Dragon Ball Superhero. Did you watch the last one with Gohan?
Superhero?
Uh-huh.
No, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, I went with Isaiah to watch it in the movies.
Nice.
It's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, Gohan unleashes his strongest form.
Okay.
It's called Beast Mode.
Nice.
And it's pretty dope.
You were telling me that's the one where they power up, but there's no electricity coming off of them, right? Because they're containing it in.
No, that's Super Saiyan Blue.
Oh, okay.
That's what Blue is. Yeah, Super Saiyan Blue is that.
I'll do my homework on all these and get these locked down.
I got this shit locked.
Yeah.
I know Marvel and I know Dragon Ball universe just as well as I know Marvel. So
yeah, so he's gonna break all that down for you. Don't worry, we'll have it all for you guys. But yeah, that's gonna do it for us today. We want to thank you all for sticking with us. And Kike, as always, I am with you
to the end of the line.
Thanks.
If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to like and subscribe.
Also, hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all our new episodes and more.